What's up, friends? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. I gotta make an edit with that. That's hysterical. It's just the funniest thing ever, man. People's react, like, cool people like that's reaction to FPV is just, yeah, it's the greatest thing in the world. Welcome to Monday night giveaways and all kinds of other things. My name again is Aaron Ciotti. Everybody, maybe I didn't say that. My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. You can call me Captain James Holden. The red rig, the workhorse rig, shall now be known as Rocinante. Come on now, you can't tell me that's not clever as hell. If anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, go to Amazon Prime and watch the show The Expanse. It's really good. Chat turned me on to it, and my God, were they right. One of the best sci-fi series I've ever seen. It's just awesome. I just finished it up, and now I'm starting it all over again because that's what I do with shows. Yeah, we're gonna do all kinds of fun stuff tonight. We're gonna do mailbag in a little bit. There's a Mobula 7 ELRS in there. This is, of course, a Q&A stream. I'm gonna be on for 4 hours, by the way, guys. We're going pretty much until midnight. This is Joshua Bardwell's time slot. He is out for the next week or so, so I'm gonna do this again this coming Sunday. And this coming Monday, I'm going to go on in Joshua's time slots, 1 o'clock on Sunday, 8 o'clock on Monday. And then I'm just going to stream as long as I can. Typically, I can do 4 hours. We're going to see tonight how my voice holds up. I did 4 hours yesterday. I'm drinking some tea in hopes that it'll help. But yeah, that's always sort of a limiting factor to the big, long streams, especially like back-to-back like this. I'm gonna try to stream tomorrow night as well in place of the news, but no promises because today was nuts. I had my first gig of 2022 today, so I'm a little bit burned out from that. And then the big stream yesterday, and now this big stream, so I might be completely shot tomorrow. And I gotta do a bunch of shipping. I got a bunch of stuff going on during the day, so no promises, but I'm gonna try my best to just keep filling up Joshua Bardwell's time slot so that, you know, the FPV community doesn't get withdrawals. Nobody wants that. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about the gig today. We're going to talk about what blew up on this rig today as well. I actually don't know what blew up on it. We're going to pull the top plate off and take a look. We're going to get the multimeter out and hopefully we can figure it out. So we'll talk about that. And then if we have time, I'm going to reassemble the Ghost Ripsqueak, which is the RCX 1306 Ripsqueak. So lots of stuff to do tonight. Giveaways, of course, are what most of you guys are here for. The giveaways are going to go on at about 11 o'clock like we normally do. Maybe we'll do it at like 10. I want to do the giveaways like somewhat in the normal time where they get done so that, you know, people that are used to it from the last year can make it. So yeah, we've got 4 giveaways. 3 of them are Patreon specific. If you'd like to get in on those 3 giveaways, you got to join my Patreon. Once you get over there, it's linked on CiottiFPV.com, which is all over the chat right now. Once you get to my Patreon, you're going to see there's different tiers. If you only fly Tiny Whoop and Toothpick, you can enter the $5 a month giveaway tier, and you'll only be entered to win Tiny Whoop and Toothpick stuff. If you only fly Cinewhoops or 3-inch micro brushless rigs, there's a $10 a month tier for that. If you only fly 5-inch rigs, there's a $20 a month tier for that. The price of the tier is directly proportional to the cost of the stuff that's being given away. You know, 5-inch stuff costs more money. So yeah, there's that. One of the big reasons I do that is because it actually allows me to get in touch with people. Doing giveaways like willy-nilly here on YouTube becomes a complete nightmare to try to actually get in touch with people and get their addresses. There was a point where I must have had like 15 unclaimed giveaways just sitting, and I let them sit for like 6 months and just kept banging on people to get back to me. and nobody did. So yeah, Patreon is really the best way to do the giveaways. The fourth giveaway tonight is going to be super chat based. If for some reason you don't want to join my Patreon, you still have the chance to win. You can do either a super chat or a PayPal. My PayPal link is over on CiottiFPV.com. This is my full-time job nowadays, and I rely on support from beautiful people just like you. Joining the Patreon helps me out the most. It's $3 whole a month to get in there, and you're gonna get way more than $3 a month worth of stuff. That's only 10 cents a day, right? So just like, you know, when you're walking around, just look for a couple of nickels, dime maybe. You're going to get email notifications when I live stream. You're going to get access to the Patreon-only streams and the Patreon-only playlist, which has almost 90 things here on YouTube. Half-finished flight edits, raw flight edits, sketchy stuff that I don't want public, and then past Patreon-only live streams are in there as well. There's a whole bunch of tech articles up on the Patreon page in the Tech Talk tag. How to tune your filters the easy way, how to tune your PIDs the easy way. Literally like 5 steps. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Step 3, do this. Step 4, do this. Step 5, do this. You are tuned and good to go. You can just concentrate on flying rather than wasting your time obsessing over tuning. So yeah, filters and PIDs, and then a bunch of troubleshooting stuff, how to troubleshoot mid-throttle oscillations and motor heat, all kinds of good stuff going on. You'll also get access to the full Discord channel. There's a couple of Patreon channels that like people seem to be loving. Livestream Live, where you guys can post pictures and videos and images like right now. It's up on my monitor. Patron Hangout, for you to hang out with the other patrons. The Video Collective, where you can post your edits, and then I'll play them while I'm doing the giveaway. Well, once I'm back on 2 monitors, I'll be able to do it. CiottiFPV Reacts. You can put like little short clips or pictures of your rigs or gear or questions, and then I'll react to them. And then All FPV Retailers is another text channel there. It's just a dumping ground for every single FPV retailer that we can think of, because it's hard to find stuff. You know, the chip shortage is still kind of a pain, so it's tough to find stuff in stock. This is one big old list of every single shop that anybody can think of here in the US and overseas. So yeah, lots of really cool stuff. There's also an Etsy store linked on CiottiFPV.com where you can buy some stickers and some hardware and some fun stuff. There's a Fiverr page where you can book a one-on-one session with me. I'm going to help you fly better, tune better, and build better. Or if you just have half an hour, an hour's worth of questions, fire away. It's a one-on-one session with somebody that's been in the game for over 5 years and is, yeah, making a career out of it. And then there's a Teespring store if you want to really be a superstar and get a CiottiFPV shirt. All kinds of fun designs, Clam Man, lots of good stuff going on over there. Last thing is there's a whole bunch of affiliate links. If you or somebody in your family is doing an Amazon order, if you hit my Amazon affiliate link before you check out, I'll get free money, and it works. All the affiliate links work that way. FPV Cycle, FPV Crate, Oh My God's website, and there's a whole bunch more. So yeah, when you're buying yourself some FPV stuff, think of your gangly buddy, and yeah, free money, yo. You can still get coupons and free shipping and all that nonsense. Has nothing to do with any of that. If you want to talk directly to me in the chat, all you got to do is type CiottiFPV like that. Oh boy, where is it gone? There it is. You don't have to put the @ in front of it, but you certainly can. CiottiFPV, no space, and it'll light up an orange for me, and I'll know that you're talking to me. If you don't do it, I'll think that you're talking to each other. If you OGs see somebody asking a really good question, or see somebody just type Ciotti, do them and me a favor, copy it, paste it, copy their name too while you're at it, and properly @tag me so that I see it. Yeah, if it's just like a really good comment that you'd like me to talk about, yeah, do it. Even if they didn't say it to me. In the chat, MotoRef FPV was first, Riot 9 was next, Ram Donko, Kevin Sumner, CH3 FPV, Grizz FPV, Chomper FPV is in the house. What's up, brother? Xenakis FPV is also here of the wonderful FPV Exchange. If you guys aren't using FPV Exchange, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You need to get your shit together. Get onto FPV Exchange, set up an account. when you set up your account, go into like your, my account page section and import a bunch of stuff. That's the magic of FPV Exchange, is that you can import every purchase you've ever made from not every, but most of the FPV shops, so that you have one big spot where everything you've ever bought is. So that if you need to find, like, if you've got like Glide press nuts sitting on your desk and you're like, where the hell did I get these from? You can go in there and have one big list, rather than, all right, let me go to RDQ and search my order history. Let me go to Get FPV and search my order history. Pyrodrone, search my, like, that's a nightmare. And it's also a great spot to trade and sell stuff. So get on FPV Exchange. It was created by an amazing guy. Can't say, Xenakis is like, he's the type of person that you don't really meet all that much in life, and is, quickly sort of becomes like a mentor, essentially. Xenakis, Joshua Bardwell, a bunch of people, they're just examples of what a good human being is. So support that. And these people also support me, and I wouldn't be here without them. So support the people that make the content that you like to watch for free. Richard, Fat Pastor, Frank Nicholas, CMYK FPV is in the house as well. Dropping the link dropping the Linktree link. Thank you, dude. Freelojo is here. Vince, Northern Tier, Jackalope, Steady Eddie, Adrian, Glessner, Dan636, Grizz again, FPV Trucker, Flush FPV, Maggie Schmidt. Hey, girl, what's up? Maggie Schmidt. Maggie is my wonderful girlfriend. This mug, Maggie does this really cool thing where with like her best friends, if she's out and she sees a mug that like makes her think of that other person, she'll get 2 of them and then gift the other one to the other person. And then when either one of them drink out of that mug, they'll send each other a little picture and think about each other. Is that not just the most wonderful thing ever? So, yeah, I was thinking about Maggie when I made myself some vanilla spice something or other tea with oat milk creamer. Since, as we saw yesterday on my Everlywell food sensitivity stuff, I am not going to be drinking moo cow fuck milk anymore because, I have a food sensitivity to it, which basically just means that, like, I'm mildly allergic to it. That's not actually what it means, but it's pretty much what it means. It makes my tum-tum hurt. 40-year-old man can't drink milk. Could be worse. I'm gonna leave the call outs there. If you want the gangly man to say your name, you got to get in early and say something. CH3. So now let's see how long it takes to get caught up on chat. CH3 tagged me and said, have posted in CiottiFPV's Discord in the 5-inch mini quad section black box log file footage, picture of the frame resonance I have on pitch, roll, and yaw. I'm on 4.2.9, 716 grams all up weight, 1100 mAh, session 5. Do I have to change some filters? CH3, I actually don't really use black box. I started to learn black box long ago, probably 3.5 years ago, if I'd have to take a guess. And in talking to a couple of people at the time that were very talented at reading black box logs, a couple of them basically said to me, one of them being Ryan Harrell. I met Ryan Harrell when Joshua had me come out to the quad camp at his house and help people in the build section and help people flying and stuff like that. All the stuff that I do on Fiverr, basically. And I got to meet Ryan Harrell there, and we just like hit it off right away. We're pretty like-minded. He's way smarter than I am, but yeah, just sort of we became sort of instant friends and have talked ever since. Not like every day, but we talk like every couple of weeks. And Ryan, if you guys don't know who Ryan Harrell is, he's who runs Mini Quad Test Bench. He has more experience with motor and ESC testing than pretty much anybody in the FPV industry. And now frame design too. He's designed a ton of frames over the past like 2 years or so. And when I was bouncing questions off Brian about Black Box, when I was trying to learn it, at some point he said to me, he put it more eloquently than the other folks that I was talking to, but he basically said, like, the problem with going down the path that you're going down is that you're going to end up spending a lot of time tuning. And like he kind of knew that I was more on the piloting side of things. Like my passion and what I dumped most of my time into was flying and becoming as good a pilot as I possibly could. And yeah, he basically said, like, Black Box is going to take you out of piloting, and you're always going to be thinking, oh, I can fix that. Oh, I can fix that. Oh, I need to log that. Oh, I need to log that. And at first I was kind of like, yeah, whatever. That's not me. And like instantly it started to happen, and I just immediately kind of saw it, and I was like, wow, okay. And he also kind of said, like, look, you know, for what you're doing, which is like pretty crash heavy freestyle around concrete, you're not going to be able to get your tune absolutely, you know, to the limit, which is what Black Box is really kind of good for, because you're not going to be able to bend props back and bang motors up and all this. And he was just, I mean, he was just dead on the money, top to bottom. Like, there was just this like 3 or 4 month period where I was just obsessed with tuning, and like I wasn't flying well, and it was and then I got my tunes all locked in, but then every time I went to fly, like I would have to put fresh props on after every crash, and like it was just kind of a nightmare. Black Box is a wonderful tool for troubleshooting, but to be really honest, like I've been in this for long enough where I can kind of troubleshoot by like just like listening, looking, and just kind of knowing the path that the rig has been on, right? Like a rig that's been working totally fine and all of a sudden develops an issue, that tells you a lot. Like the fact that it's been working totally fine and then it just miraculously develops an issue, that like really narrows down the troubleshoot. So yeah, all this to say that so I don't remember. So like that was back before Waterfall charts, that was back before PID Toolbox, that was back before UAV Tech Mark Spatz's all of the wonderful stuff that he's done for Black Box tuning, and I've just forgotten it all. I just don't remember. I don't remember any of the keystrokes in Black Box anymore, so I just don't use it. So with CH3FPV, if I'm not completely shot at the end of this stream, I'll jump in and try to take a look. I would actually use the footage. I actually tune by footage and like ear. So yeah, if I can jump in there, I'll use that CH3's footage to see if I can figure out what's going on. And then I usually just ask a couple of questions. You know, hey, my quad's falling out of the sky. Well, is it falling out of the sky on the same corner every time? Oh yeah, it is. Okay, great. Boom, 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 boom. And then you just run right down the troubleshoot. You know, this is also something that I can do in these one-on-one sessions, right? Like I know I talk a lot about like it's for flight instruction, it's for build planning, and it's for tuning help. But if you've got like a really challenging troubleshoot, and instead of spending 6 hours bashing your head into it, you've got $40. We can probably knock that troubleshoot out in half an hour, probably less than a half an hour, and then if you have any other questions. So yeah, do it, or else. GrizzFPV says, what's up? CH3FPV says, thanks, Collective, and CiottiFPV. Chomper FPV says, how's it going, man? What's up, Collective? It's going real good, Chomper. Real good. Like I said earlier, I had a gig today, which was great. I was pretty sure that the reason that the gigs kind of dried up when the temperature dropped is because nobody wanted to shoot music videos outside. You know, like videographers have to use their fingers too, and if they're shaking, the footage is going to look horrible. So yeah, linked back up with my main guy that hired me for a ton of stuff last year, and he's back up and running, and I might have another one on Thursday. So this is huge for me. I'm super excited. I mean, I've been worried from day one that it kind of slowed down and then pretty quickly stopped. I was like, oh hell. But, you know, here in Atlanta, there's a lot of music videos being shot, and there's a lot of opportunities for fly-throughs. And my name really got out there last year. The people that I worked with were pretty high, you know, pretty kind of famous. Rico Nasty, Big Boy, Masego, almost Rick Ross, almost DJ Drama, either Yeezy or Jeezy, I don't know, and so many more. Yeah, like those edits got put in front of millions and millions of people, and I went through every single comment and messaged every single person like, hey, thanks for the love, I'm ready when you are to work together here in Atlanta. And yeah, so this is gonna be a good year. Man, last year was wild year last year. There were moments last year where I was in the deepest, darkest hole of despair in pretty much my life, as a 15-year relationship just absolutely exploded in my face. And then it turned into some of the happiest moments of my life. Working sort of the dream job, working some of these dream gigs, meeting this dreamy dream woman that I'm with right now. And so, yeah, man, 2022 is going to be my year. So come with me, friends. This is going to be nuts. Live streams are not going anywhere. These gigs are always sort of during the day when it's light out, and then these live streams are pretty much always when it's dark out. You might miss, there might be a Sunday stream or two that I have to cancel, but yeah, you're still gonna get 6+, 8+ hours of live streams a week, because you know you guys have been here for me through this whole thing, and it's been such a big part of the experience to kind of share it with you guys, and I really want to continue sharing it with you guys. And I really do think that that the demand for FPV pilots is going to explode at some point, and I think it's coming. I think it's coming sooner than we realize, because more and more people are realizing how amazing FPV footage is. And there's not a lot of us, right? So, like, I would love to be here as, and it's already happened with a couple of you guys, but I would love to see more and more of you guys start booking gigs, and I would love to be able to share everything and anything I possibly can to make that process, you know, easier, slicker, whatever for you. So yeah. This is going to be fun, yo. CMYKFPV dropping the link tree link. Thank you, brother. Freelojo dropping the Patreon link. Thank you, dude. He also Freelojo also says, hello, collective, CiottiFPV, and associated FPV pilots. How is this evening? Well, I hope. What else we got here? FPV Trucker says, oh, God, hey, collective. FPV Trucker also says, what tri-blade prop do I need for the 1mm Mobula 6 motors? So the bi-blades that the Mobula 6 0702s came with really lacked thrust quite a bit. I moved it to the Gemfan tri-blades, and I love it. I have not tried it on the Gemfan quad blades yet. We'll probably do that on Whoop Wednesday this week. This week's Whoop Wednesday is gonna be nuts, man. We're gonna retest the 0802 versus 0702 on the 65mm frames, and we're gonna pound the shit out of this Mobula 7 1S ELRS. So this, you don't want to miss this week's Whoop Wednesday. It's at, what, 8 o'clock? Yeah, Wednesday at 8. So yeah, put that shit on your calendar. Does anybody use a calendar anymore? What a silly saying in 2022. Ruby Tim says, y'all know I love you, but CiottiFPV is streaming at the same time as the women's speed skating Olympic event, and I have priorities. Those Dutch women are a thing to behold. Oh god, I fucking love you guys. Oh man, I'm the luckiest dude ever. I'm surrounded by the coolest people in chat. I'm dating the coolest person I've ever met. What a time to be alive, man. Every single sacrifice has been so worth it. That's all I'm gonna say. Jackalope FPV says that intro tip was dope. Thank you, dude. I assume that you meant RIP. Yeah, that's the stadium. That's such a cool spot here in Atlanta. I try not to go there too often because I don't want to burn that spot out. Zanaka says, oh my god, awesome power loop CiottiFPV at the stadium lights. Yeah, it was a big fucking power loop. I gotta get, maybe that footage is the next edit that I send over to Finn. Although I'm gonna hold off on that. I feel like I maybe want to do the edit with that stadium footage. Kevin Sumner says, long live the Rosie. Hell yeah, man. What else? Hey, what else can I do? What else can I do to this rig to make it more like the Rosie? The Rosanante. It's got red standoffs, red TPU. What else can I do to make it look like the Rosie? The last generation of the Rosie, like towards the end of the series, it is like black and red, which is kind of where the idea came from. But, you know, Rosanante means workhorse, and that's exactly what this is. This is the freestyle workhorse. So it's just too fitting. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can do to it to kind of, you know, make it look a little bit more like the Rosie. Let me know if you guys can think of anything. Apex FPV says, did you see Tommy's video? I did. You guys should all go watch Oh My God's third installment in working on the set of a Discovery Channel show. Also a show that's been on the air for like, not on the air, but it's like 16 seasons deep or something. Deadliest Catch, Jesus. This episode is great though. Tommy did a hell of an edit. Great use of some copyright-free music in there. Just awesome. Just a great storytelling. Yeah, really, really, really cool stuff. Definitely go check that out for sure. T-Bird's in the house. He says, what's up, Ugly? Free Lojo dropping the link to Patreon. What else we got going on in the chat here? Propped Up FPV says, hey. CMYK FPV said, oh snap, dude's on that oat life. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, oat milk creamer I'm fine with, but like regular, just like, you know, whole oat milk, I just don't like the flavor of as much as moo cow fuck milk. But it's safe to say that I would rather drink oat milk that doesn't taste quite as good and not have the Hershey squirts. Why am I such a fucking 8-year-old? Hey, we're only gonna play two Mobula 7 1S ELRS batteries tonight because I wanna make you guys wait to really see me beat the hell out of it. Plus, there's a million other things going on tonight, like the giveaways. And yeah, trying to get this Cinesplorer. I gotta get this back up in the air for potentially another gig on Thursday. So this is absolutely top priority. So we're gonna dig into this pretty much as soon as I get caught up on chat. The story is I plugged a 6S. I should. Hey! Who wants to buy some little 6S batteries off of me so that I stop using? I don't use them, but then I see them sitting over there, and I'm like, oh, I should use them. And then, as I'm going to tell you in a second, I used it today, and it might have blown up the flight controller. If you want some lightweight, like 110, these are all between 80 and 110 grams. 6S XT30 batteries. First person to message me somewhere at CiottiFPV, Instagram or Facebook, wins. These have all only been charged and discharged like 3 or maybe 4 times. And there's only one of them that took some crash manglage. Yeah, there's 2 of these 80-gram Talon FAF 450 MAH 6Ss. There's 2 of these GNB 550s, and there's 1 R-Line 650. All 6S. You got to buy them all. I don't want to be shipping them individually. But yeah, if somebody wants these, they are all yours. I'll basically sell them to you for like half of whatever they cost new, which is a pretty good deal because again, they're all in like perfect shape. They're not poofy. They've only been charged and discharged a couple of times. I just need them out of here because when they're sitting over on the shelf, over and over and over again, I look at them and I'm like, well, how bad could it be? It'll be fine. I'll use them on it, and it's just, yeah. I'm a 4S 850 guy. I have like 15 4S 850s that I've built the rigs around those batteries. The tunes are very specifically locked in for those. So these 6S batteries just, you know, and I use motor limiting and all that, but it's not quite the same. There's a little bit of a difference there. So I just need them out of here. So anybody that's on 6S, like with a 250, for example, these would be beautiful for that. Or like a 6S Cinewhoop, Cinesplorer, something like that. These are going to be great. They're great batteries. I'm just totally invested in 4S. All of the motors that I have are specifically for 4S. Slim says, what's up? Zanakis says, thanks so much for the kind words. You're too kind, man. You, sir, are the mentor, dude. Thank you, man. That's super kind of you as well. Fat Pastor spelled my name wrong, so it didn't light up in orange, but I just happened to see it. He says, Kuiati, he says, Queedy FPV. Anyone know where the power play screen, anyone know where to the power play screen or how to replace it? Mine is smashed and no one has them. Oh God, no clue, Fat Pastor. But Immersion RC is a fairly small company. I bet you if you message Immersion RC on Instagram and or Facebook, do both. Also see if they've got an email address on their website. Message them everywhere you can possibly message them. I bet you Tony Cake gets back to you, and maybe he'll, let you know what the model number is for the screen. Maybe you can buy it from Amazon for $20 or something like that. Frank Nicholas says, for those lactose intolerant, try this. I subscribe and drink to it daily, slatemilk.com. So believe it or not, I'm not lactose intolerant. It's just that I have a sensitivity to cow's milk. So does Maggie. She was telling me all about it. So yeah, oat milk it is, which is fine. Oat milk is better for the planet, way better for the planet. So yeah, drink more oat milk. What's slate milk made of, Frank? The story behind how I know that I'm not lactose intolerant is that at a couple of occasions, I have thought that I was maybe lactose intolerant, so I I started drinking Lactaid instead of moo cow fuck milk, and it didn't help at all. It's just a food sensitivity, which I have to learn more about. Wild FPV says, what Nano VTX do you recommend other than the TBS Pro 32 Nano? Yeah, I never, ever recommend the TBS Pro 32 Nano. It is absurdly expensive, and I've had either 2 or 3 of them fail. What I have had 0 of fail is the Eachine Nano V1 and V2, which is less than 50% as expensive. It's like it's like 30-something% the cost. They're like $12 or $13, whereas the TBS Pro 32 Nano is like $30 or like $32. Like, the fuck is happening here? So yeah, eSheen Nano VTXs are fantastic. I love the V1, I love the V2. I have not used the V3 yet, but I don't know what it is about eSheen, but everything video related that eSheen makes is like unbelievably good and like way better than it should be for the price. It's wild. I don't get it. So that's what I recommend. All that being said, the eSheen Nano VTX is a little bit difficult to find. I want to say it's Pyrodrone that sells it. It might be RDQ that sells it. If you can't find that, the Rush Tank Nano is great, as is the Tramp. Basically, all of the tiny little VTXs other than the TBS Pro 32 are awesome. Although I was not impressed by the HDLRC Nano VTX, but pretty much everything that HDLRC makes other than their new flight controller is kind of not good. Although their motors are actually really nice, but they don't make their motors. They're just white labeled from somebody else. Ram Donko says, my shit is so crap, I don't want to ask. I don't know what that means, but I like it. Flyzone Drone says, hey. What's up, brother? CMYK says, fire to all that new business. Thank you, dude. Flyzone Drone says, we're with you, bro. Love it. Slim says, damn, man, those are some big names, so if you got in good with those peeps, you are seriously about to blow up this year. I hope so, Slim. It's, you know, every single one of those people was given a CiottiFPV magnet. I have heard from a couple of them, like through the grapevine, that like they've put it on their refrigerators. Those big name people, it's interesting, right? Like those big name people will probably never hire me directly, but hopefully, you know, their people, their assistants, their media people, yeah, hopefully my name will get back to those folks. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic. Last year was a hell of a ride, and last year was like I was starting from complete scratch. So I have to think that, like, now that my name is out there, that it's just going to be more. And, like, there was a while last year where it was a lot. There was a while last year where it was, like, 2 or 3 gigs a week. It was incredible. So I was, like, almost at the point where I was going to have to stop saying yes. In order to kind of combat that, I just started to jack my rates up. So I kind of got to a point where my rate, where, yeah, I didn't have to say no to anything, but I assume that some of the smaller stuff just kind of disappeared because, yeah, I was roughly twice as much, twice as expensive as I was initially. So yeah, that was awesome. I would, and that's, you know, that's, in my opinion, that's kind of the way to do it, right? Like start as reasonable as you possibly can, just to get as much practice and experience, and to, you know, pay yourself an exposure a little bit, right? And then, yeah, instead of saying no to stuff because you're too booked up, just charge more, and that will weed out the smaller stuff. That worked staggeringly well for me. And towards the end of the year, the gigs that I was getting were like serious gigs. And that's kind of another part of it, right? Like when you know your value, and or when you charge more, just by the fact that you're more expensive, people think that you're better, right? Like when you go and buy a Ferrari and it costs $500,000, there's an expectation that that's going to be like next level, and it is. You know, if so, like, always know your value, and with FPV, Jesus, we are very, very, very valuable because there's not many of us. There's nobody doing this, and yeah, so just understand that, like, if you're gonna do a gig, don't do a gig for $100. Don't do a gig for $200. Don't leave the house for less than $300 or $400. Understand that you're spending a bunch of time charging batteries. You've spent a shitload of time to build the rigs and to get good enough to confidently go do it. When you come home, you're gonna have to deal with the footage. Maybe you're gonna have to put it through Real Steady Go. There's a lot of stuff that kind of stacks up. So just, like, understand that, and yeah, charge an appropriate amount of money. Also, we're all trying to charge as much as we can so that there's not a race to the bottom. There's no reason for us to cannibalize each other on budget. There aren't many of us, and if there's two of us that have $1,000 day rate, one of us is going to get hired, and then that person's going to be super hat, right? Like, it just makes no sense for how few of us to try to like compete on cost, compete on quality, compete on service, compete on everything other than cost, because yeah, we are very, very, very few and far between. CMYK says yes please, got a $5 for that. Linktree /Ciotti. I wonder what I was talking about at 8:30 that CMYK was saying yes please to. Reed in the Wind says, what's up, collective? What's up, CiottiFPV? I hit you up on Instagram. Awesome. Thank you, Reed. Oh, God. YouTube just did the thing. Scrolling back up. Hey, Metal Dirtskin with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, brother. He says, watch the TP3 tune from Sunday, and I think you had the motor poles set to 14. Maybe try RPM filtering one more time after setting to 12. Damn it. Interesting. Let me count the magnets just to be totally sure. Good catch, man. Although, you know what's weird? You know what's wild? I've done that before, and the rig has flown totally fine. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's gonna be 12. 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. Yep, that's it. Yeah, it is a 12 magnet. Very, very good call. I mean, we got the time. We'll try it tonight. I will put it right here in front of me. We will go in there and change that. Oh man, if that's what it is, that'll make me very happy. Because I do want to fly this thing. There's a chance, to be honest, that this toothpick is never going to make it up in the air on this Diamond VTX. Because T-Bird sent me a naked Caddx Vista, and if I'm going to rip this thing apart to put it into a different frame, chances are that I'm just going to put this into it, because this is going to give me much better quality video than this Diamond VTX. It's going to add a bunch of weight to it, but Chris Rosser's AOS T3 frame has much shorter arms because he has a little bit of triangulation going on here. So in theory, the extra weight will be offset by the extra arm strength and the shorter arms. So maybe it won't be super, 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 super fragile. All that being said, with a toothpick, the motors are going to really take the brunt of the abuse. So adding weight to it is not a great idea. So I'm still super up in the air about doing that, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up doing it, if I'm completely honest, because, you know, DVR is okay, but I feel like after 20 seconds of watching DVR FPV footage, it's kind of like, all right, my eyes are bleeding. I make it stop. T-Bird says, 2 of my real estate jobs yesterday had FPV parts in them. Very cool. Very, very cool, T-Bird. Yarbs FPV says, calendars are huge, bro. My wife makes and sells a planner and stickers for it. College students. College students and soccer moms eat that shit up. Very true. I didn't even think of that. Very, very true. I've been using the calendar on my phone, and my God, it's really nice. Type into it, and I'm like, put like a little alert, and like days later, the alert pops up. It's like, yo, don't forget to do this thing, and you're like, oh! Flush FPV says, I need to buy props for my Acrobee. What diameter is the shaft on the motors? 1 millimeter, Flush. 1 millimeter is the standard micro brushless tiny whoop shaft diameter. And 1 millimeter is sufficient for 65 millimeter tiny whoops. For 75 millimeter tiny whoops, realistically, you want to go up to a 1.5 millimeter shaft motor, of which there aren't many. But there are 100% more today than there were a few weeks ago. I think the only one that we've had has been the Beta FPV 1102, which was too low of a KV for 1S, if you want any good power. But on 2S, I put those onto one of the 75 millimeter Insta360 Go 2 lifter rigs, and oh boy, those 1102s are gnarly on there. And now this Mobula 7 that we're going to unbox in a little bit here is the second tiny whoop motor that I've ever seen with a 1.5 millimeter shaft, and it's an 0802. So more than likely, after I bash the shit out of this Mobula 7 this Whoop Wednesday, I'm going to rip it all apart, and I'm going to swap the frame onto this to see if there's any hope to continue the 75 mil motor-to-motor 1.6 inch prop 1S freestyle experiment. And I'm going to take the motors and I'm going to put them onto onto another lifter, onto another Insta360 Go 2 lifter build, because this awesome little iFlight Zing 0803 17,000 kV motor with a 1 millimeter motor shaft died on the very first crash with that on one of those lifter rigs, and it wasn't really that hard of a crash. So I don't want those rigs to be that fragile. Like, yes, I'm not really going to be crashing them, but if I do crash them, I don't want it to be game over. And I'm also very curious if an 0802 on 2S is enough to crank these 1.6 inch props on a heavy build. I think that it is, because one of those, what can I call those? Tiny lifter? Tiny lifter. That's a good name for it, right? Tiny whoop, tiny lifter. So we'll call it tiny lifter. One of the tiny lifters right now is on Newbie Drone's 0802. And it's kind of fine. Like, it does really well. The 08, I had the other rig on these 0803s, and I did like it a little bit better, and now I have it on the 1102s, and it definitely has more grunt and just more power than the 0802s, but the 0802s are kind of like just barely enough. So kind of like what I've done with my proper Cinewhoops, which is that one of them is on a 15-degree mount for a little bit faster stuff, and then the other one is on a 5-degree mount for a little bit slower stuff. I can kind of have the same thing with the tiny lifters. Have one of them that's kind of underpowered for like really slow speed stuff, and then have one of them that's got a little bit more jam for putting the nose down and covering some ground. All that being said, it's going to drive me nuts not to have two identical tiny lifters, but it's fine. They're not going to get used all that much. They're going to be like my Gorilla Whoop. They're going to be like the ultimate gorilla whoops. ELRS, so tons of range. 200 milliwatts, so half decent, and I'm going to put those little tiny CP antennas on them, so it'll have half decent video range. And they're pretty goddamn quiet. I'm going to do some prop testing to figure out which propeller is the quietest. I think it's going to be the Newbie Drone Azzy. I have a set of 1.5 mil shaft Azzies on the way. Yeah, I'm really excited, man. I'm going to go to like the mall and like Target and shit and just like get kicked out, but you know, get kicked out in like a friendly way because it's a stupid little tiny whoop, right? Like who's going to get super mad? And I can't wait, man. Imagine flying around a mall. Like, malls have all kinds of cool shit up in the rafters and, like, the overhangs and, you know, go to a mall, like, at, like, 9 a.m. on a Tuesday and nobody's going to be there, right? I'm looking forward, man. Those rigs are so close to being, like, just perfect. Oh, I love it. I love it. I can't wait to gorilla whoop some stuff with those. McConnell Studios is in the house. He says, thanks for sharing it all. Keeps the faith rolling that when rigs get bashed and life rolls wrong. Yeah. FPV is quite the roller coaster, is it not? I mean, from day one of FPV, it's just like, it's like a contest of like how much frustration you can handle, mixed with like, can you appreciate the joyful moments enough to make it worth it, mixed with like continued frustration, mixed with like continued just pissing time away fixing the same thing over and over and over and over again, mixed with some more amazingness as, you know, every time you fix stuff, right? It really is just, it is something else. I've had a lot of hobbies. I've always been like a hobby guy, like as a teenager, into my 20s, into my 30s, and now into my 40s. And nothing's like FPV. Motorsport is the closest that I've ever experienced. And I've been into music, drums, airsoft, photography, videography, motorsport, tabletop games, a little bit, and I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of other stuff. Longboarding, downhill longboarding, and yeah, FPV is, it's just the most extreme. It has the most extreme shifts, but at the same time, it's not super expensive. That was the thing about motorsport, is like, if you have the money, motorsports can probably be as extreme. But I never did, because it's, you know, the only way to make $1 million in motorsport is to start with 2. Whit Mead made it to another live stream. What's up? He says, glad to have you, brother. Frank Nicholas says, add some gray to the quad for the Rossi colors. That's what I was thinking. It had some gray in it at one point, maybe gray props. The motors are actually gray. So, yeah, gray props, that's a great idea. Especially because I already have them. But yeah, maybe I'll get like a light gray paint pen and just like do some gray like on the carbon or something like that. Because yeah, when I looked up like there's a Wikipedia page for the Expanse. And so yeah, I looked up a whole bunch of pictures of the Rossi and I was like, man, it's just gray, isn't it? So I when I asked you guys earlier in the stream, I was hoping I'd get I was pretty sure that I would get, yeah, gray. But I don't know if there's anything else you guys can think about. Yeah. It's just gray. And I mean, I guess I could get like little fake guns and glue them on or whatever. I've always been meaning to do that. Athix FPV says, FPV Exchange hooked me up on EP2 receivers and a Sharkbite Mippy, thanks to Xenakis FPV. See that, guys? FPV Exchange all day. Frank Nicholas says, slate milk linked above is real milk with the lactose filtered out. For me, it's delicious. Gotcha. You know what's funny is, I think that's the same thing as Lactaid. I actually prefer the taste I'll never forget this. Every time that I've thought that I'm lactose free, I'm like, oh, good. Lactate is sweeter than regular milk. I literally do like the taste of it better. WAM-FPV says, so stoked for you 2022. There we go. WAM-FPV. Hey, speaking of WAM-FPV, he is working on, for all of us, a 4th Newbie Drone Goober Canopy Insta360 Go 2 TPU loop setup, and he's gonna make a Thingiverse so that we can all get it for free. So WAM-FPV has been, for the last couple of months, he's been taking the Newbie Drone. The Newbie Drone calls this the bunny ears mount. They made it for the Insta360 Go 1, which is much smaller than the 2. And then they put the file up somewhere, I think, or maybe WAM-FPV scanned it, but somehow WAM got that file, and then he made the holes bigger, that's what she said, for the Insta360 Go 2 rather than the 1. So the first one that he made, the mount was like right here, like the center line of the camera was right here, and then I was like, oh, that's great, but can you move it forward a little bit? So he did that, so he moved it forward a little bit. That's this mount that you're seeing here. And then I said, ooh, that's really good too. Can you move it? I said, can you move it way far forward, so that we try to get like no duct in view whatsoever. So then he did that, and that's what you're seeing here, where it's moved all the way forward. And this is great, man. There's like no duct in view. This is awesome. The only thing that's been happening to me on this one is when I crash, which doesn't happen often, but I'm just curious about it. When I crash, this mount can like kind of open up a little bit here, and I've had the Insta360 Go 2 fall out a couple times, which scares the hell out of me. So I said, hey, you know, we've got the straight up mount, we've got the one little bit forward, and then we've got a whole bunch forward. I was like, you know, he's doing this for nothing, and I'm like, you can say no. Like, feel free to say F off. But it kind of would make sense to do one in between, right? So there's like all the way back, a little bit up, all the way up. And he was like, cool. And so he's going to put these all on his Thingiverse. So yeah, man, build you a tiny lifter. I'm telling you guys, build, especially if you have an Insta360 Go 1 or 2 or a Caddx Peanut, although a Caddx Peanut would require a different one of these. But yeah, man, build yourself a tiny lifter and move that Insta360 Go around with something quiet and safe, and you can fly it in your house. And yeah, let's do some cool things with Insta360 Goes. Man, this has been such a fun little project to work on. Yeah, WAM has been a big part of that. So much thanks, brother, for everything that you've done for me and at some point here the community when you get all these up on that Thingiverse channel. It's very, very cool of you. Slim says, I'll take some 6S. Awesome, Slim. Shoot me a message, CiottiFPV, wherever you want. Although it looks like Athix might have beaten you, so you guys will have to fight over him. Whichever one came through first wins. Zanakis FPV says, I snagged some of those Cinesplorer frames from TBS at New Year's, so did I. I can't wait to get that build together. Nice, Zanakis. If you are wondering what parts to use, or if you have any questions on it, just hit me up and I'll hook you up, because I've been doing this Cinesplorer thing for a long time. Charles Marseille says, what's up, share that PayPal. So the PayPal based giveaway does not start yet. It doesn't start until I say okay now, which is going to be around 11 o'clock. But if you just want to PayPal me because you want to support the madness without doing a super chat, you just go to CiottiFPV.com, scroll down, hit the PayPal button, and it'll take you right there. All right. David Scruggs sent $25 via PayPal. David, thank you so much. Kids are grown. We take in foster cursing triggers PTSD. Oh, wow. Okay. I never thought about that. That's why they can't watch. You're a funny, kind person. Never try to be someone you're not. Hope this explains our posts a little bit more. Keep up the good streams. Very cool, David. Yeah, we were talking about cursing the other day, and I'm pretty dramatic. I mean, you know, I'm doing a live stream. I try to be as entertaining for you guys as possible. So I kind of crank up the drama a little bit sometimes, just because, you know, it's fun to watch. Yeah, I was saying how, like, if you can't handle, like, me cursing, you know, like, I encourage you to talk to your kids and say, like, hey, you know, cursing is whatever. That's super interesting, David. That's the kind of thing that makes me want to, I mean, I do genuinely try to not curse. Like, believe it or not, this is the past, like, 6 months is me trying not to curse. I would like to think that I'm a little bit better, but sometimes it just yeah, I get all ranty. Yeah, stuff like this, yeah, I don't know. Headphones? Wireless headphones? Those Raycon commercials are on every single YouTube channel in the entire world. David, that's very cool of you. Thank you for writing that. That's very, very, very cool of you to take the time rather than just go, oh, F this guy. Which, you know, if I were in your shoes, I would have probably just wrote F this guy. Very, very cool of you to write that realistically. Like, yeah, I really do try. I really do try to not curse, but it just ain't gonna happen. It is just a I'm from Jersey, what do you want from me? It's just a part of my vocabulary that will never go away. And yeah, the other thing that's funny is when I a lot of times when I talk about trying to curse less on these live streams, people like Daniel Maurer, Remy Tim, will literally start super chatting. I won't super chat anymore if you stop cursing. And it's not just him. Like, people will be like, don't. So in some ways, I'm financially obligated to continue cursing. Although David Scruggs sent $25 on PayPal, not asking me to not curse, but you guys know what I mean. So there is money on both sides of this. If you want the cursing to continue, you better offset David's super generous $25 PayPal. Thanks again, David. Very, very cool. Yeah, I don't have. I wish I had a solution, because I want you to be able to watch. You know what I mean? But yeah, cursing triggering PTSD in kids that you're fostering is way more important than watching some gangly wanger on YouTube. So, man, that's by the way, 1,000 times good on you, man. That's such an amazing thing to do, bro. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like I was saying before, man, there's just people that I meet in life that just exemplify like what it is to be a good human being on Earth, and that's, I'm always so appreciative to run across those people in the world, because yeah, those are the people that I want to be like. That's what I want. You know, I want to be that. I want to be somebody that other people look at and they're like, oh damn, that inspires me to do better. The easy button for you becoming that is to notice it in other people and, you know, take little parts of things that they're doing and incorporate them into your life. So, yeah, man, super rad what you're doing. Amazing. Athix says, FPV Exchange hooked me up on... Oh, we got that. Where am I at? Ram Donko says, sounds like a sale, Slim. There's Metal Dirt Skins super chat. Thank you again, brother. Metal Dirt Skin also says, also, my girlfriend has similar milk sensitivity. She likes a brand called Sproud. which is made from pea protein. Best one in coffee, she says. Maggie has been telling me about pea protein for a while. She actually like totally called it, for the record, on the milk side of things, and on the I forget whatever. So when last year, when I was really like just working out a good amount and doing yoga like 4 or 5 times a week, like full hour-long classes, I got a bunch of protein powder, and it was just wrecking my stomach. And Maggie was like, "Yo, throw that shit out and get stuff that has pea protein in it." And I looked it up, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that's expensive." But yeah, she totally called it. She was like, "That's what you need to do." And like, yeah, I still have some of the protein powder, and I looked at like the ingredients. I'm like, oh, all the things, all the things that my stomach hates. So it's interesting. Unequal Fabrication says, try chocolate oat milk. Stuff is the bomb. Yo, chocolate oat milk is the shit. Every single time chocolate oat milk goes on sale, I get it. It's like the whatever it is about like normal oat milk that I don't quite love, the chocolate perfectly covers that up. And it's so good. I love chocolate oat milk. Unequal Fabrication is so right. CMYKFPV says, after I got that bad batch of V2 Ishii Nanos, I switched to Rush Tiny Tanks, $18 on FPV Crate. CMYK, I think though, weren't we running into the same problem with the V2 Ishii Nanos? Wasn't it because we had our antennas, we had rotated our antennas inboard and they were touching the capacitor? Right? Didn't we figure out that was our issue? It was kind of user error, because I remember I had 2 of them that I thought were bad too. But yeah, it was because I was shrimp wrapping the antenna in that weird little orientation, and I could swear that we both figured that out at like the same time. Maybe I could be wrong. Freeloja says, I ordered the RC and Power 2104 light motors for the HG-ELRS pusher frame. I don't know if I'm familiar with those, and I am still looking for the perfect 2004. And a 2104 is totally fine, so I am going to look this motor up. The problem that I have with 2004 motors is none of them are high enough kV. I need more kV than I can find, so I want to see what kV these RCN powers are made in. So 1800 kV is a 6S kV. That doesn't do me any good. But usually they'll have a higher kV option. So let's do a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and damn. Yeah, so they have 3000. 3000 is enough. Oh, and look, they have it in the wacky M2 shaft. 3000 kV is just barely enough, but I really am looking for a little bit more. 3200, 3300, 3400, 3500 is a lot better on 4S than 3000, even on the Gemfan 5 blades. Just because I'm lifting up a fat ass Hero 8, like a full weight Hero 8. This is intriguing though, man, because you could, Gemfan has a little insert that's 2mm, so you could just drop these right on here. Oh, and it's a 3mm motor shaft. Oh, buddy. Oh yeah, look at that big beefy nipple on the bottom. That's the 3mm motor shaft right there. Ooh, I mean they're not going to take any hits in a Cinesplore, but 15.9 grams. Let's take a look at the weight versus some of the 2004s, because that's the other thing that I always look at in 2004s, because my Cinesplores fly as good as they do because they're so lightweight. I forget what 2204. No, 2004. 2204 is too big. Oh, I hit the wrong one. All right, hold on. where you at? 2004. There we go. Nope, that's 2204. I almost did it again. There we go. 2004. Okay, so let's see what the T-motors weigh. What do we got here? 16.4 grams, including cable. What did I say this was? 15.9 with 3 centimeters of wires, though. So that's short. That's very, very short. But not bad. It says light in the title. No, I guess not. I think the other one, maybe the T-mount one, says light in the title. That is pretty light. The 21, the extra millimeter in stator width isn't really going to do any good because the KV is a little bit low. Like this 3000 KV on a 2004 is fine. It's not a, yeah. Interesting. 15. So they're not heavy. I mean, they're not super light, but they're also not really heavy. Some of these 2004s are really heavy. Let me see if I can find one of the ones that I noticed was really heavy. I really wish I could do these. Oh, these Emax Ecos, actually. These are the really heavy ones. Look at this. 16.6 grams, and I bet you that's without wires. Chris Rosser actually tested a bunch of 2004 motors, and this Emax Eco 2 did really well in his testing, but it was the heaviest by a big amount. What else do we have in here? These HGLRC areolas are the ones that... Why am I such a child? Are the ones that I have down below in the description, because I've heard really good things about them from 250 gram FPV on Instagram. But again, it's 3000 kV, but they're light. Look at them. Full wires, and they're 16.6 grams with the full, like, I don't know, 7 or 8 centimeters of wire. So yeah, those are... I'm very tempted by them. These Axis Flying 2004s are great, and they make them in 3750 kV, which is amazing. It doesn't look like Pyrodrone sells them, but they're a little bit too notchy, so it makes tuning a real challenge, and then there's ever so slightly a little bit of jello in the footage. So that's really a shame, although they are pretty heavy. I remember them being sort of fat. 15.4 grams with no cable, and then the cable is going to add like another 2 point something grams. Damn. I always hope that like a new 2004 has come out that I haven't seen that's a higher KV, because again, I'm really looking for like 3200, 3300, 3400, 3500 KV. But yeah, the manufacturers are still sort of on this 6S hype train, which is unfortunate because there's just no benefit to running 6S on these lighter weight rigs with these smaller motors. I am very curious. I do have a GNB 550 5S battery, and they still make that battery. And that would be a little bit more stress on the electrical components, but the extra bit of a little bit more extra RPM than I want, but that's okay. I always like to motor scale down a little bit. So, I mean, unfortunately, I have a ton of 4S 850s right now, and the 4S 850s are the batteries that I'm going to run on the Ripsqueaks. What I really like right now is that I have a ton of 4S 850s, and I can run them on all of the 3-inch micro rigs, all the Ripsqueaks, and the Cinesplorers. So it would be very annoying to... I love that. I love being able to run that same battery. It would suck to have to buy a whole bunch of these 5S 550s. But, you know, if that's what I have to do, then I'll go down that road. And what's actually really interesting is one of the issues with these 2004 motors is that they make so much thrust that as a T-mount, they start to rip the bell off of the motor shaft. And this right here fixes that. This motor shaft goes down into the bearing. So you're never gonna pull this. So on a T-mount, you're pulling the bell up. All of the thrust that you produce is pulling up on the bell, and that can pull the bell right off the shaft. Whereas this setup here completely fixes that, because the shaft is what's being pulled up, because that's where the little motor nut is. So this motor is really, really interesting. And yeah. So like this motor on 5S is potentially like the one, because it's nice and lightweight, and it's got the, you know, everything that we just talked about. So that's pretty cool. Do they also make it an M5? Is that what I'm seeing here? Is that an M5 version of it? Oh, come on now. We're seeing power GTS V3 2105. Okay, yeah, I don't want 2105. That's too much. That's too heavy. And it is M5. That is nice. Yeah, 20 grams. Yeah, that's too much. Too much! Wow, okay, very cool. Very cool. That motor is definitely in the running for sort of like the perfect, or whatever, Cinesplorer. Whoop. Cinewhoop. Whatever. Man runs out of words. Oh, they're blowing him out on Team Black Sheep. Really? Let's see. Don't you go buy them all on me. Oh, okay. They're not. Old Link or whatever. Although, hold on. Let's do a quick search. No results. Gee, thanks. Let's take off. Let's just do this. 2104. Let's just search for that. See if it comes up with anything. No results. All right, they're gone. Come on, Google. Get your, I forget what I used to work in search engine optimization. I forget what it's called. when the algorithm comes through and redoes everything. Looks at all the things. Yeah, they're not in here. Unless maybe they're in the blowout section. Hold on. Just for the sake of being super thorough. Good God, they have a ton of motors. Where's like the sale section? Where are you at, sale section? Where is it? Do I keep scrolling by it? How many times have I scrolled by it, guys? How many times? 18? 19? 20? Oh. Where is it? Where's your cheap stuff, TBS? I can't afford your expensive stuff. Shop? And then I thought they had like a blowout section or something for us Italians that put our hair straight up in the air. See what I did there? I've probably scrolled by it 700 times, and chat is just smoking with rage that I can't find it. That's how I do things around here. Freelojo, very cool. Dude, do me a huge favor and build that as quick as you can. Oh, no. Here's the favor that I need, Freelojo. When those motors come, take the heaviest propeller that you can get onto them and do my little motor notchiness, cogginess test with your phone. Put your phone into slow-mo mode, get a whole bunch of bright lights on it, and spin the little propeller. I need to see if it's notchy. Or if you just know what a notchy versus a smooth motor feels like, just let me know if they're notchy or smooth. Because if they're notchy, they can go to hell forever. Wild FPV says, some people have been reporting that the Immersion RC Tramp doesn't work sometimes with the eSheen Nano. Have you had any problems? No. But what do you mean, Wild, did you mean to say the Immersion RC Rapid Fire doesn't work with the eSheen Nano? because the Eachine Nano is a VTX and the Immersion RC Tramp is also a VTX. The Immersion RC Tramp is the VTX that I run in all of my 5-inch rigs, and I do have the little Tramp Nano in a rig somewhere. I've never had a single problem with Rapid Fire and the Eachine Nanos. It has been absolutely bulletproof, and I've been using them forever. I'm talking like years at this point. Halfboard says, and it feels great. I wonder what I was talking about at 8:47. Good Lord, it's 9:30 already? All right, going fast through chat. Here we go. YouTube just did the thing. Oh, wow, I'm really behind. All right, gonna go fast through chat here. Quasimodo says, careful with the gig payment, my brother. Yeah, I'm doing everything in cash this year. If you don't know, now you know. PayPal and Venmo will be taxed in 2022. So, yeah. Cash is king, baby. Adrian Glessner says, when you do a gig, do you do all of the editing or you just give raw footage to the client? I do not touch editing. I'm not all that great at editing, and I'm very slow. Very, very, very slow. So, yeah, I have not taken a gig yet where I have even remotely offered to do the editing. On, like, silly little stuff that I've done for the yoga studio, I've sat at the front desk while I'm doing work trade and edited it for them. But, yeah, I don't offer editing to, like, anybody that is hiring me in a remotely professional sense. Because, yeah, I'm just not good at it. And when I do it, it takes a ton of time. And I have years worth of footage that I still need to edit. So, yeah. CMYK says, CiottiFPV speaking fire. Thanks, dude. T Tickles FPV says $1,000 a minute for edited footage. Yeah, pretty much. That's probably about right. Whoo! That's mega. I never thought about it. I've never really looked into what editors charge. But yeah, that sounds about right. $1,000 a minute sounds about right, because for every minute of like properly edited footage, it's just hours and hours and hours of work. Athix FPV says, I've seen people in the photography business sneer and a low price and pay for someone even more. Also, people don't know what you have to do to fix photos on the back end after. Yeah, what I was talking about before about like knowing your value and don't undercharge and stuff like that, that was a huge thing in photography. And when I moved to Charleston, I tried to do the freelance photographer thing. I'd been shooting stills at that point for over 10 years on and off. A lot of hundreds of thousands of images. And yeah, that was it's way more confusing in the photography industry though, because you've got people that are willing to do gigs for $50, $500, $100, $5,000. Like, it is all over the goddamn place. With FPV, it's so much smaller, and you know, it's basically because everybody's a photographer, right? And all you need is an expensive camera, and the camera takes great pictures. So yeah, it's really difficult and it's actually very insulting. In like, one of the most insulting things that you can ever say to a photographer is, oh, how expensive is your camera? Oh, your camera takes great pictures. That is a fucking knife through their heart, yo, because the gear does not matter at all. You can take the most expensive, best camera in the world and you put it in the hands of an idiot and the images will be awful. And then you can take $100 DSLR from Craigslist and put it in the hand of somebody decent, and it'll make images that you could put up on billboards and just, you know, have in like major ad campaigns. So yeah, never, ever, ever, ever say that to a photographer. The big problem with photography is that like everybody has a pretty good camera on their iPhone at this point too, right? FPV is really nice because like people like see you doing what you're doing and they're just like, oh my god. And like every once in a while I'll get like, oh, how expensive is that quad? It must be really expensive, right? And I'm like, nah, it's like $300. And they're just like, whoa, what? I'm like, yeah, $300 and 300 hours every couple of months worth of work to build and repair and learn to fly, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, my experience as a freelance FPV pilot versus a freelance photographer is night and day. Athex FPV says I'm about to HDZ my TP3. What's HDZ? Just HD? You're just going to build an HD TP3? Ramdongo says, got to fly and not pay and return at an indoor BMX skate park today. Ooh, that's cool. Owner was pleased, invited back. Need to sort these rigs out. We'll put some unedited videos up soon. Very cool, Ram. That's super, super, super fun. Fat Pastor says CiottiFPV is a belter. Brutta. Neck and face tattoos for all the collective. Doc says, oh yeah, forgot about this from the last Whoop stream. You said fractal frame wasn't good because the motor shafts break because it's the weakest point in a crash. Can the weakest point be moved by using PEEK screws? PEEK screws on the motors instead of metal ones. I assume that you're talking about like plastic screws, Doc. Maybe, but man, those plastic screws are really weak. I have a feeling that you'd be breaking those plastic screws on like every crash. And here's the other thing, right? The Cockroach frame, the Cockroach 65 frame and the Meteor 65 frame are stiff enough that you can get the filters and the PIDs into a really good place. So there's kind of no benefit to having any more stiffness that you would get from the carbon fiber frame of the fractal rig. I think that the fractal rig is just kind of specifically here for people that don't crash their tiny whoops a lot and want to get a little bit more PID performance from them. But yeah, that fractal frame, in my opinion, will just never take crashes well. It's and I really don't think that it was designed for that. But you could be right. It could help. But my feeling is that yeah, every single crash you would strip the screws out, and that would just get really old really fast. What Doc is talking about doing is using the little nylon screws that you can get from those super cheap M2 kits. And use those in the base of the motor because the carbon fiber frames on tiny whoops are so stiff that you bolt your motor down to this nice stiff carbon fiber frame, and now that holds the motor base dead still because it's stiff. And then when you crash, the duct doesn't do much. The duct pushes into the propeller pushes on the motor shaft, and these little 1 millimeter motor shafts just snap like nothing. So yeah, it's but see that whole that's like what I love. That's one of the things that I love so much about like really refining FPV builds and pushing them to the limit is that you find these scenarios where it's like, you know, the weak point used to be like the frame would break. Well, yeah, all right, we're going to stiffen the frame up. Well, now the frame gets heavier, so it crashes a little bit harder. But the frame is stronger. Well, then the motor shafts start breaking. It's like, oh, Christ. So there's this really fun little dance of, you know, and it's a very individualized dance where every single one of us crashes and flies different than the person standing right next to us. So for each one of us, there is like a perfect motor, a perfect frame, a perfect, you know, full build, top to bottom. And when you get that, and so like for me, for example, right, 5-inch freestyle is the glide. The way that I crash, where I crash, how hard I crash, the glide arms are the perfect strength where most of the time I can hammer the hell out of them and they're strong enough and they're good to go. But when I do finally, you know, a couple of times a month usually, put enough energy into them, hit something hard enough where something is going to break, and realistically, it's either the motor or the arm. Typically with the glide frame, the arm breaks, and that's exactly what I want because I will absolutely always replace a $4 arm with 6 bolts over a $26 motor with 4 bolts, a soldering iron, right? So, and yeah, it's like that with everything. All the different size rigs, 3-inch rigs, the ripsqueaks. I'm going through this with the ripsqueaks. I've gone through this with the tiny whoops. It's really such a fun little, like, it's like one of the metas of, you know, deep inside of FPV, when you really dig into it and do a whole bunch of testing and really pay attention to every single time you fly what the reliability is and all that good stuff. And that whole process, I get to go through that process in the one-on-one Fiverr sessions in build planning. Like, that's the big thing that I do in build planning, is ask you, like, how often do you fly? Where do you fly? What weight is your rig? How often do you crash? What do you crash into? What do you find breaks the most often when you crash? How often do you replace propellers? What propellers do you run? There are certain propellers that are stronger than others that'll cushion the hit more. And yeah, once I've asked all these questions, I can say, okay, look, you know, this is the best frame for you. This is the best motor. This is the best bang, 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 right down the list. Metal Dirtskin says nano lifter. I like that too. I like that too a lot. Remy Tim says, I forgot to mention CiottiFPV today while working. I was driving down a neighborhood street behind a Miata being chased by a Cinewhoop. Nice. That's cool. I wonder who it was. Leadslinger says, try taking the Zing motors apart and oil the bearings and bushings. I had the same issues with 3 out of 12, but they all still work after oiling. Leadslinger, which Zing motors are you talking about? Are you talking about this 0803? This died in a crash, and it bent the little motor shaft. So yeah, there's no fixing that, unfortunately. Unless you had crashes that the oil somehow fixed. But yeah, this is a pretty typical motor shaft bending. I kind of think that I'm done with these motors anyway, just because even if that would bring it back to life, I know that I would just end up breaking the motor shaft anyway. On this much lighter weight 75 millimeter rig, I've broken 4 motor shafts. So yeah, and in the tiny whoop world, it's well known that the 75 millimeter rigs with 1 millimeter shaft motors are just a ticking time bomb. And yeah, I'm just not, I'm not into that. Richard says, what's your opinion on the Source One? Great frame. If you're on a super budget, I think it's the one. That being said, the Glide is not that much more expensive. Yes, technically it's twice as much, but we're not talking $50 to $100 like we are of the Glide versus the Apex. We're talking an extra $25, right? And I think it's definitely worth the extra $25. My big problem with the Source One is that it only has 4 millimeter thick arms, and that's just silly. There's like it's 2022 on 5-inch freestyle rigs. It's well established that 4 millimeters is not the right thickness for arms. 5 millimeters is. Yes, the arms are a little bit wider on the Source One, but that's not a good thing. That wider arms don't make any sense because you never put a ton of energy into that direction that extra width helps with, and also it blocks more thrust. So yeah, that's my one big gripe about the Source One, is that the arms are the arms are thick in the wrong direction. You want 5 millimeters thick and a skinnier arm front to back, because the really hard hits that break arms are putting energy up in this direction. So you want this thickness to not be 4 millimeter, but to be 5 millimeter. It makes a really big difference. So yeah, for a couple of extra dollars, the Glide is a much better frame, in my experience and opinion, than the Source One. Also with the Glide, you've got a ton of different options. 4 millimeter thick arms, 5 millimeter thick, 6 millimeter thick arms, 5-inch dead cat, 5.5-inch dead cat, 6-inch, 7-inch Truex. So yeah, if you have a couple of extra dollars, I think it's well worth it to step up to the glide frame from the Source 1. But if you're trying to do the absolute cheapest rig possible, the Source 1 is it, in my opinion. Kevin Sumner says maybe put some of Joshua Bardwell's trademark red tape on the motor wires. Which motor wires? Oh yeah, for the Rossi build. Ooh, that's a good idea. I like that. That's cool too, because there are like big blocks of red on the Rossi. Carbon Cage is in the house, big and little. He says good day. Frank Nicholas says I love 100% whole milk taste, but more than just a little, not too good in my digestive system. Aldi Duino says what motor size for that whoop? Which whoop is the question? I'll just do them all, I guess. This is the Mobula 6 ELRS 0702. This is my Ultimate Freestyle Whoop or whatever, 0802. And then this doesn't fly great, but 75 mil motor to motor, 1.6 inch prop, 0803. And then the Mobula 7 that we're going to open up in a bit is 0802 with a 1.5 millimeter motor shaft. On the tiny lifters, one of them is on 0802s, the other one is on 1102s. Kevin Sumner says, don't forget the new run cam thumb for a tiny lifter. Yes, thank you for the reminder, Kevin Sumner. Oh wait, run cam thumb. I was thinking there's a GoPro. There's a tiny little GoPro camera coming out that's 9 grams and $50 apparently. That could be really interesting for these tiny lifters. GoPro's gonna have some really cool cameras this year. I'm super excited. What's the run cam thumb? Am I getting them confused? I thought it was a GoPro camera. I guess I'm getting them confused because the run cam thumb is 9 grams and $50. And it looks just like the GoPro. I guess I'm getting it confused. Yeah, this is super interesting. I'm excited about this. I'm excited that there's a bunch of companies now making these tiny little cameras. This is going to be really cool. Oh, look at that. It's got a PH 2.0 in the back for voltage. Damn, this is slick. We got some cool stuff coming. This is going to be a good year. Frank Nicholas dropped the link to CiottiFPV.com. Thank you, dude. 661 says, have you seen the run cam thumb? Looks like an Insta360, but it's only 9 grams. No internal battery. Interesting. Removable SD card. Oh, that's cool. And USB to access files. Internal gyro for post-stabilization. Nice. But it only does 1080p 60. That sucks. God damn it. Really? I mean, for $50, like, what do you expect? And I mean, for Instagram, 1080 is kind of fine. I tried to make 1080 work on the Insta360 Go 1, but it just was not quite good enough. Maybe this RunCam will be a little bit better, but I doubt it because RunCam is not as big of a company as Insta360. But for $50, that's, yeah, $50, 1080p 60, that's a really good deal. Probably not going to be for me, but for a lot of you guys, I think that's a hell of a deal. JRFPV says, what up? Late, had to work late. What's going on tonight? All kinds of stuff, JR. Family Guyver says, you curse way less than you did last year. I'm proud of you. CiottiFPV, a perfect balance. Thank you, Family Guyver. I've actually been trying. Wild FPV says, the footage from the RunCam thumb doesn't seem as good as the Peanut or the Go 2 in my opinion. Oh, no way. I mean, no way it will be. That's not a fair comparison. You know, that's a $50 camera versus a $300 camera. It's a camera from a tiny little FPV company in RunCam versus a, you know, actual, like, camera company in Insta360 that has cameras in Best Buy and stuff, right? All that being said, $50. Woo! And 9 grams. So there are definitely some benefits to the RunCam thumb, for sure. T Tickles FPV says they actually sell a live streaming volume mixer with a swear bleep button. Yeah, you can just put it, like, you can just, I've been actually meaning to. You can just put it as OBS allows you to make keystrokes and whatnot, so you can just throw it on your keyboard, like Command Spacebar triggers it. Yeah, I've been meaning to do it, but I kind of don't want to. Like, yeah, I don't know. Mother Hudson says, good on you for trying, but while you can be compassionate for someone else's situation, you can't own it. Very, very true. Jackalope FPV with a $2 super chat. He says, pro swear jar. Jackalope FPV likes naughty words. Family Guyver says, I'm told at work I really need to stop the F-bombs. I'm going to get in trouble. I didn't notice I'm doing it at times. Yeah, here's what's super weird. Like, I worked in corporate for the better part of 20 years, and it was never really an issue. But, you know, I mean, it's different when in that scenario, you know, like, and I was making big money, so there was a lot of things that, like, would lock my brain into not doing it. So, yeah. And I try to put on a good show, and I think, you know, cursing really accentuates frustration or happiness or whatever, so yeah, I choose to do it. Ramdago says, my internet went out if I missed your abuse. Hey, Thix FPV says, Michael Rollins is a person who inspired me a lot in the community. I watched every interview he did after the first Capper one. Yeah, Michael is a cool dude. He's a fellow mental illness fighter, and we had a great... he reached out to me and wanted to interview me about FPV stuff, and I said, I would love to, but to be really honest, I would rather talk about mental health stuff. And he was down, which was really cool. So if you haven't seen that, if you haven't seen my interview with Michael, and you have any interest in learning about mental illness, which you should, because 50%, 40% of people deal with some form of mental illness. So, yeah, I mean, if you know more than one or two people, you know somebody that's struggling. If you're not, you might be, and you don't realize that's what it is, too. Yeah, check it out. You'll be a better human being on Earth. You'll understand some people that you meet a lot better. And maybe you'll see something in yourself that you haven't liked that is related to this, and then you can look at different ways to help with it. And that's how you lead a happier, less, you know, awful life in some cases. CMYKFPV says, no, mine were dead out of the box on this V2. Gotcha, CMYK. Okay. Athix says, have you tried 4000 kV 2004s from Flash yet? I haven't, Athix. They're sitting right over there. I put them in the on-deck circle, and then somebody, it might have been CMYK, said, yo, I got a bunch of Flash motors, and they're a hot mess. Like, right out of the box, one of them was, like, falling apart. The other one was grindy. The other one was, like, notchy. The other one was not notchy. And I was like, oh, God. Flash Hobby is, I think, DYS, like, reborn. And DYS was notorious for making very low-quality stuff. I haven't heard any other complaints about Flash motors, but whoever was telling me about that, it just really scared me. And these Cinesplorers can't just... They have to have good motors on them. So I'm basically just too scared to put those Flash Hobby motors on. I really want to, because they're the exact KV that I want. What I would have to do is I would have to put them on and then go out and fly like 50 batteries over like grass. And like that's going to take hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. So and I would still be like very weirded out. You know, I would still be like kind of scared shitless with those motors on the rigs, and I can't have that. So I don't know. A lot of times you can tell when a motor is starting to let go. Sometimes you can't though. Sometimes a motor will exhibit no signs of being about to blow up, and it'll just let go. And I'm just so afraid of that. So I don't know. I keep thinking about it. Maybe what I should do. You know what I could do? I could throw a 4-inch rig together, put it on those motors, and beat the shit out of them. Buy a bunch of extra ones and just pound on them and see how they hold up to just being trashed and banged into stuff. And if they do somewhat okay in that scenario, then I feel like it's totally fine to put them on a Cinewhoop where they're not going to get slammed all around. Maybe I'll do that. I wouldn't want to do that on the 250 because the arms are kind of fragile, and I think the arms would break before they put a lot of energy into the motors. I would probably want to do that on like a micro apex frame, like a 4-inch apex frame. But man, do I have a bunch of builds stacked up. The motors that I have on these Cinewhoops at 3000 kV, it's like just enough. It's just enough, and it totally works. And like every gig that I did last year was on these motors, so like it works. But I would just love to have a little bit more, just a little bit more kV. So yeah, I don't know. It's not like top of the priority list, you know. But we'll see. T-Bird says I can't get past the color of oat milk. Yeah, it's so true. It's like a little too gray. I go with the organic A2. I like my moo. Nice, T-Bird. Zanak is calling out me calling the Aerolis motors, or however the hell you pronounce it, Areola motors. Ramdago says, what can a 2004 carry compared to an 1805/6? I mean, I carry a full weight Hero 8, GoPro Hero 8 with 2004s. 1805, 1806 is gonna have a lot harder time staying cool. It's an interesting motor size, but yeah, the 2004s are really, really, really good. So I think that they're a better option, especially for something that's picking up a heavy load like that. Because you're like you're asking the motor to do work all the time and pick up a fat old full size, full weight Hero. Fat Pastor says, I watch most all of your videos. I just can't watch live often because of the Fosters. Watching right now with earbuds. LOL. Nice. Building a whoop, cussing in my head. Just be you, bro. Nice, Fat Pastor. I love it, man. Drone Pilot says, hey, Mr. Ciotti, how are you? I'm good, brother. Haven't seen you in a while, Drone. Glad to have you back. Family Guyver says, or maybe you've just been lurking. Family Guyver says, the 1506 RC in power is notchy as hell. It is, which is such a shame because the 1506 RC in power is one of the very few micromotors with a 3mm motor shaft. It is such a shame that they're so notchy. They also make way too much power and get way too hot. Stay away from the 1506 RC in power, like unless you're building like a full tilt boogie race rig or something like that. Haveboard says, feels great racing rigs and saying no. Raising rates and saying no, I should say. Indeed. Jackalope says, PayPal and Venmo will only be taxed if they are business transactions. But what I read was basically like any transactions on Venmo and PayPal that don't like specifically, I've been meaning to read more about this, to be honest, but what I read is like, if they don't specifically say something insane, like, hey, this is for a friend, or like, it was just, when I read it, it was very obvious that like, it's gonna get taxed. But like I said, have any of you guys tag me in chat if you've read into this and you know the straight dope on it, because it sucks. PayPal and Venmo were always legally taxed. Some people skipped reporting the income and evaded the tax. Now it can't be evaded. Drone Pilot says offshore accounts and businesses cannot be taxed. And so you can form a business and email account which you draw from the USA legally, similar to large entities do. Yeah, that's a little sketchy for me. This also sounds like it would take a bunch of time and effort. If I get taxed, I get taxed. I will be stashing a significant amount of money this year for taxes next year, because it's a big question mark what's going to happen. Orga says, is the storyboard storyboard the director goes over with you before shooting, or just giving general directions, corrections after every take? Totally different on every single gig, Orga. That's a great question. I love gigs that they'll send me a treatment beforehand, which has some like examples of shots that they're looking for. I love that. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's just, hey, come on out. The gig that I worked on with James Christensen up in Asheville was like they had done 3D mapping with a Mavic of the space of the site. So we were able to do a Zoom call. Me, James Christensen is SOG Productions. He's who made Flow State. We were able to do a Zoom and look in this fully three-dimensional space and figure out the exact flight path. So it's totally different on every single gig. If the director or the director of photography or whoever is hiring you wants to give you some feedback ahead of time, great. Like, ask for it, ask the right questions, try to beat it out of them, because it definitely helps. But some of them just don't get it. Some of them just don't understand what FPV is. They know that they want it, but they don't understand it at all. And don't push them. Don't push those people. Just be like, I'll be there. I'll be there at call time. We can make it happen. I'll have a monitor. You give me as much or as little direction as you want, and we'll make something magic. And 9 times out of 10, when you get there and you start flying around, they're going to be so blown away by what we can do that they're just going to be like, oh my God, that's great. 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 Oh wow, that's great. And you don't get any feedback, but that's okay because they're happy as hell. So yeah. Drone Pilot says, my daughter's a professional photographer and she has various gear that she takes, and she takes great magazine shots and poster shots for art galleries. It's not the camera for sure. Yeah, so true. Jackalope FPV says, you mentioned glide arms. Check out Ciotti Reacts. I don't want to skip to the bottom of Ciotti Reacts, so next time we do Ciotti Reacts, I'll put it in the title and we'll go through all of them. How about that? Doc says, the advantage is not having the frame flex during fast whoop races like Whooptopia. Some of the faster pilots were putting nylon braces on their Meteor 64 frames to reduce the flex. Wow. That's wild. That is wild. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you know, for me, whooping is all about freestyle. In a freestyle sense, I'm able to get my PIDs and filters totally where they need to be on the regular Meteor 65 and the Cockroach frame. But yeah, it sounds like the racers, and that makes sense because, you know, as racing matures, the gap between the fast guys shrinks down, and any tiny little benefit can certainly help out. But I'm not a racer, so you know, you guys won't be seeing that frame here on the channel. But that's rad, Doc. I did not know that. That's really cool. Doc, remind me, what was the most popular frame? I'm sure it was the Meteor 65, but were there any Cockroach frames at Whooptopia? Also, what was the AIO? Was everybody running the Diamond? Not the Diamond. The Happy Model one that with the front cut off because it's lighter weight. I think we talked about the motors. What about props? What was everybody running? Is it 3-blade Gemfan all day, or is it 4-blade Gemfan? 661FPV says, it's not a GoPro, it's the RunCam thumb. Thank you, dude. Zaneka says, maybe it's obvious, but why aren't there more open source frames? It's a really good question. It's a really good question that I absolutely have no answer at all for. Brian Jarvis says, told you to check it out. I said Albert Kim did the review, but it was Gal Kilmer. Gotcha. Richard says, oof, RunCam Split does 1080p 120 frames a second. I didn't. Oh, yeah. Right. Yep, they do. Paul McDonald says, what's up, all? Lurking tonight doing a cable clean in the server room, but thank you, CiottiFPV, for keeping me entertained anytime, brother. 10 o'clock. All right, cool. We're getting there. Brian Jarvis says, heard the flight controller in the new Mobula 7 will not fit in any 65 frames. Just an FYI. Oh, no, really? Well, we're gonna do mailbag in a minute here. Let me just get caught up on chat. I'm getting there. Aldi Duino says, that's a fun name, the Cinelifter Whoop. That's another fun variation. I think Tiny Lifter is my favorite so far, to be honest, though. Veritas Weasel says, you can cure a lot of mental illness by letting the swear words fly. Oh, how I wish it was that simple. Veritas. It probably does help, though. Freelojo FPV says, the Flash Hobby motors be too weak to fly 50 packs, so wouldn't even bother. Freelojo, have you had those Flash Hobby motors fail? Tell me more. Grizz FPV says, I think I was the one you talked to about the Flash Hobby motors. They do not crash well, but in my Cinesplorer, they are okay. Grizz, tell me more. How many batteries do you have through them on the Cinesplorer? Roughly, of course. How heavy? Are you picking up a full-size Hero? Tell me as much as you possibly can, because that 4,000 kV is amazing. Drone Pilot says, I was introduced to a doctor who explained the certain strain of mushrooms, hallucinogens, open up the neuron pathways to the brain to help with many conditions mentally be rewired and fixed. So one of the ways to... so it's not just psilocybin, which is mushrooms. It's also ketamine, which is similar. It might be the same thing as MDMA. A lot of hallucinogens, actually. The best way that I've ever heard it explained, and luckily there's a lot more research. So California has been doing medical research with ketamine and some other stuff for a long time. And PTSD, for example, PTSD 50% of the time in these clinical trials, I think is what they're called, 50% of the time PTSD is cured by these. It's wild. But they've been scheduled class 2 since the goddamn Reagans, with the war on drugs, which just was the worst thing ever. So it's been really hard for scientists to research it. Lately, a lot of that has been changing. The last couple of years, some amazing... I think 2 years ago was the first time I really heard about it starting to pick back up. And every day it's getting a little bit more researched. The best description of it that I've ever heard is if you picture like your house and a snowy front lawn and then the street. Your brain is a monster when it comes to forming pathways and just connecting things, right? But in doing so, we sort of make the same path through the snow, if you want to visualize it. So we walk the same path because we've put the footsteps there and we won't get snow all up in our shoes, right? Hallucinogens have this incredible ability to break that up. And instead of your brain walking that same path over and over and over again, you walk a different path and a different path and a different path and a different path and a different path. This is not just go get mushrooms on the black market, gray market, whatever, and just trip your balls off. That ain't it. We're talking medical setting, psychologists, psychiatrists, very controlled kind of situation. But yeah, it's really, really, really interesting. And the success rate with PTSD is, I mean, like, yeah, it should be being researched in every state, every place, everywhere in the entire country, because PTSD is just brutal. And, like, you know, we send these kids off to war, and they come back, like, wrecked for life, and then we're like, man, fuck you, you know, good luck, you're gonna need it. Like, no, if there's anything that can help that, let alone something that has a 50% success rate, dude, put it in the drinking water, for Christ's sakes, right? So it's, yeah. YouTube did the thing again. All right, I gotta go faster. I gotta get caught up. We gotta do our unboxing. And then we gotta do our giveaways. Drone pilots, nope. Our brain is also really good at looking for patterns. Our brain, I've heard the human brain being called a pattern machine. You know, it helps us, like, hunt, right? The deer walks the same path over and over again. Our brain realizes that, and then we can intercept, and yeah. Family Guyver says build a 4-inch apex with them. Maybe, Family Guyver. The problem is I have so many builds stacked up. We'll see. Dan Richmond says, bro, I got those FPV Crate Flash Hobby 2207.5s, and 3 are smooth, and one is noticeably more notchy than the others. Haven't flown them yet. I think those are the Dan, it might have been you that was telling me that. I don't think it was, but I think somebody else had that same experience. Right9 says, Areola 2806.6, 1250 kV, 2 of 5, bad from the factory. Whoever is making them is giving HDLRC the trash / floor sweepings. That's not good. I've heard a couple of good things about the Areola motors. Oh man, these manufacturers are killing us. Jesus. Zanaka says more than $600 AFAIK. What's AFAIK? If I remember correctly, right? I forget what AFAIK. I would have to look into more. What's AFAIK? Why can't I think of it? I have to search it. Chat, don't even bother. As far as I know, that's it. As far as I know. Did I have it right and I just couldn't figure the letters out? Chris Dents FPV says, as someone who knows nothing about business, hey, me too, Chris. I would say consult a trusted accountant. Yeah, that's going to be happening very soon. But first, is it possible that you could ask other creators how they do things with taxes and as such? Yeah, I've had that conversation with a bunch of the other guys, and they've given me some really, really, really good guidance. A bunch of the guidance is basically get a CPA, get an accountant, like just get somebody that's going to help you out. So yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing this year for sure. Jackalope, also because I racked up a good amount of debt in my previous marriage, supporting someone that wasn't really never mind. Moving on. Jackalope says the new reporting only impacts people who illegally don't report income to the IRS, which unfairly raises the tax bill on the responsible taxpayers who do. Makes total sense. Yeah, it when I heard about that, I was like, it was kind of like, well, the free ride's over. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm not in a place financially that I can pay 30. I can afford to pay 30%. But maybe this year will be different. Grizz FPV says I run the Hero 8 full size and I've maybe put 15 packs through it so far. Okay, so the shafts aren't starting to slip or anything like that. Grizz, have you pulled the props off and spun them up in Betaflight in the motors tab to see if any are out of balance? Are they all nice and clean? Grizz also says I'm running the 4000 kV motors on it. Awesome. Zanaka says, what about ketamine? Emerge. Maiden uses it like once a week. So I think we already covered that. Drone Pilot says, yes, there is so much more in these trials that they found to rewire, and it's too much to go into the chat. So true. Spent hours talking to him about it. Essentially opens up to relearn/connect. Very, very cool. DMT, Athix says DMT. Yeah, that's in there as well. Freeloader says, I got 2 packs on the 3-inch 5-blade on my Acrobat Duo, 1 hang up in the tree branch, turtle mode, get it at. Bearings are not sounding so good. Haven't tried oiling yet, but yeah. Got 2 packs of 3-inch 5-blade. Which motors are we talking about, Freelo Joe? Brian Jarvis says, got trapped in a mirror for 2 hours once. Freeloader, do me a favor, copy and paste this comment so I can reread it with which motor we're talking about. Oh, I'm almost good. GrizzFPV says, I've checked the motors yet, and they haven't given me any reason to yet, but I can if you'd like me to. No, as long as you're good. I mean, Grizz, you know what's what. I trust you. I trust you to know whether or not they're balanced or not. So, awesome. Tim Shevtsov says, do you have a ham radio license? I do not, Tim. I don't know any FPV pilots that do. I run it fair. I mean, I guess we're all supposed to, but yeah, like nobody. I think Joshua is probably the only one that does. Yeah, there's nobody here in the U.S. that enforces that stuff. So it's just not a thing. Freeloader says 2004s can't copy on the phone. All right, perfect. You said it early enough though that I can scroll back up. And got 2 packs, 3-inch 5-blade Acrobat Duo, 1 hang up and a tree branch, some turtle mode to get it out. Bearings are not sounding too good. Okay, got it. Okay. So the bearings are probably shit. That makes sense. Hey, guess what time it is? I just totally stole that from Mighty Car Mods. Go check out their channel. One of the best channels on YouTube. If you're at all into cars or just good YouTube content, you're going to love it. Mighty Car Mods. You guys know what that red tape means. It's an RDQ box. I'm going to save the thing that I'm sure you guys want to see the most for last. Because I'm a jerk. Look at this. Look at this. This is a olive drab fat strap for the DJI helmet that Xenakis of FPV Exchange very, very, very kindly sent me. This whole like gas mask configuration can go to hell. So yeah, and I've got I think maybe tomorrow there will be a newbie drone box arriving with the olive drab newbie drone foam. So these will be looking pretty fancy. I went with olive drab because I'm trying to be as like low profile as possible. I have like dark brown hair, so I think that the green will kind of just mesh right in with my hair. Maybe not. So yeah, this is. Are these snaps gonna fit? Yeah, look at that. Okay. All right, so we got a little snappy doodle there. Another little snappy doodle. Who am I? Another little snappy jib jab here. Hey, look at that. That's way better. Oh God, it hurts my face. Oh, it's pushing on my forehead so hard. Oh yeah. Ant-Man! Cool. I like it. Big old loopy bit here for a battery. Or not. I'm probably gonna end up just running like 1300 mAh 4S batteries in my pocket. But we'll see. Cool. That's really nice. I really dig that. It's nice of them to adjust it properly for my big dumb head from the factory. That's a nice touch. They did it just for me. I paid extra. FPV Exchange, thanks again, brother. I can't believe you sent those goggles over. That's super rad. Oh, yeah, this little thing. Check out this cool little thing. I was doing an order on RDQ. They were the only ones that had this in olive drab in stock. So I was like, all right, I'll do a little order. And I just typed into the search DJI, and I just looked at everything DJI. Look at this cool little thing. It's a little jib jab that blip blops in the glip glop. It goes in here to protect the little lenses, and then it's got the little loopies for your antennas. I thought that with the antennas removed, that these would fit in my BPX whatever low pro bag. So I got this little thing to protect the lenses for sure, but also to stick the antennas on. But they don't fit in that bag. So, but this is still cool, right? It was really cheap too. And yeah, I could put things in there. Protect your shit. I guess it'll also serve as a keep the sun from burning holes in your screens device. So that's good. Happy Model EP2 receiver. I was gonna get one from FPV Exchange. Nevin has a whole bunch of them, but I was doing an order and they're like $11 or $13 or something. So I just said to hell with it and snagged one. This is gonna be going on the non-ELRS Tiny Whoop. So that, hopefully, on Whoop Wednesday, the comparison between the Ultimate Freestyle Tiny Whoop and the Mobula 6 0702 is a little bit more accurate. Right now, when I fly each one of these rigs, this rig is super connected to my brain because there's like no latency, and this is not because this is on OG FR Sky with like almost 30 milliseconds of latency, I think it is. Whereas this is probably down like 5 or 6 milliseconds. So yeah, this little guy will close the gap between these two so that I can more accurately talk about the difference between 0802 motors and 0702 motors. What do you think of that? So that's gonna go right there. And then I got the Flywoo one. I want to try to get one of every ELRS half a gram receiver to see which one explodes first. So yeah, the only other one that they had in stock was the Flywoo one. So this little guy, I think I'm gonna put this Flywoo one. I don't know which one's gonna go where, but I'm gonna put ELRS onto the tiny lifters. So yeah, I need. There's also a Goku one of these that I want to snag. There's a really expensive one made by Axis. I probably won't get that one. But yeah, I want to try to get one of each. Look at this! Beta FPV and Gemfan worked together to make these 1.5 millimeter motor shaft white tri-blade 1.6 inch props. White is going to look cool. So I'm going to, on this one here, on this all black one, I'm going to run, and the Insta360 Go 2 is bright white. So this is going to be like a panda rig. It's going to be all black. These motors are coming off at some point. And then it's going to be these nice white props that'll match the Insta360 Go, and then the rest of the rig will be black. Won't that be cool looking? Right? With some black motors. This rig is going to get the motors, the 0802 1.5 millimeter shaft motors from this Mobula 7 1S ELRS. So yes, this rig will be cool looking, right? I'm excited for that. If you're not gonna fly good, at least you gotta look good, am I right? And then yeah, look, I didn't really show this to you guys, but I got this thing looking all cool with the teal props and then the matching TPU and then the matching canopy. Isn't that cool looking? On the clear. I'm also blacking out. I'm gonna be blacking out all of the LEDs on these so that when I go gorilla whooping with them, they're kind of as low profile as possible. Yeah. If I build another one, it's just going to be all clear. It's just going to be you're not going to be able to see it at all. It's just going to be an actual floating. People are going to be like, what's that white bean floating around in Target? It sounds like an angry wasp. Happy Model Mobula 7 V3 Tiny Whoop frame. I have no idea why I bought this. I kept hearing that it's like really strong and it's a great frame and it was cheap. So I said, okay. It's got a huge battery bay. That was disturbing. Yeah, I'm never gonna use this. Oh, look at that. There's only one thing left in the box. What do you guys think it is? Let's get caught up on chat. Let me make sure I'm caught up on chat for... I do want to get caught up on chat, actually. Tim says, I guess I don't have to then. Yeah, Tim, I literally don't know any, like, I'm friends with a lot of pro pilots, and I don't know a single one of them other than Joshua that has their ham license. And Joshua only has it because he used to be an engineering, like, tech, RF tech. So, like, he didn't get it because of FPV. So, yeah, if you're in the U.S., unless you want to, I don't know. There's people that love the ham radio community. Bill Anderson says, I finally got the fat strap for my Ant-Man helmet. It makes a huge difference. Also found some foam on Banggood that works really well. Nice, Metal. If the newbie drone foam doesn't work, and or if the little inserts that I'm going to put Velcro on the front and back of don't work, yeah, I'm going to be bugging you. I'm going to be bugging all of chat for advice on how on earth to get that DJI helmet to not smash into my forehead and hurt immediately. King Turkey says, what was determined to be the best whoop camera from Ciotti studies? King Turkey, I have no idea. I haven't even remotely begun to, like, think about whoop cameras. I've been just focused on the motor and prop and all-up weight performance and durability. I have the newbie drone Goober canopy and camera in most of mine, which is, like, okay. But I think you guys called out, a couple of you guys called out on Whoop Wednesday last week that the run cam, I don't know, this run cam, this tiny little run cam camera that comes with the Mobula 6 looked a lot better. So now I'm like, oh man, I don't know. I might actually not, because Whoop season is kind of coming to a close here. I might not go down the camera rabbit hole. I've been paying a little bit more attention. I have heard that the Caddx Ant is another good one, but I've also heard that like with most Caddx cameras, the DJI stuff, their DJI stuff seems to be great, but all the rest of Caddx's stuff, from what I've heard, the failure rate is just outrageous. So I don't know. This is the last thing that I got from Race Day Quads. This is Happy Model Mobula 7 Whoop Spare Replacement Screws. These are the long screws that I was telling you about, which really, really, really help out with the newbie drone Goober canopy. The newbie drone Goober canopy puts a lot of stress on the rear post of the frame. These screws seem to totally fix that issue because these are so long that they go way the hell down in that post and they make it nice and strong. So if you want to get the longer screws you guys have seen me using on these whoops, you can get them at RDQ. Oh, why is that scene on? How long has that scene been on? Hopefully not too long. There it is, people. I'm not caught up on chat. Veritas Weasel says, crashed into the house, my nuts flew off. Snapped my prop, drove my shaft into the dirt. I am a licensed ham radio operator. 661 says, waiting for your review of that new Mobula 7 1S before I buy one. I want to put it on a mosquito frame. Ooh, that's cool. That's a really cool idea. I have a couple mosquito frames coming from Newbie Drone. Kevin Sumner says, have you updated to Edge TX yet? I have not, but I'm meaning to. I think you may need it to get 500 hertz gimbal polling. I'm gonna put Edge TX on the QX7S. I just haven't had a chance to do it. It's coming soon though, for sure. Paul McDonald says, is blasting VTX in a small space just as detrimental as blasting radio signal? I'm not sure, Paul. What do you mean detrimental? You mean like detrimental to our health? Or like detrimental to signal quality or like video quality or something? Aldi Duino says, is tri-blade better than 4-blade propeller for 0802 motors? In my experience, absolutely not. The 0802 motors love the quad blades, love the Gemfan quad blades. The 0702s might not. I'm really excited to try the 0702s on the tri-blades and then swap to the 4-blades this Wednesday. So don't miss that. My guess is going to be that the 0702s will not like the quad blades as much as the 0802s do. Because of the feeling that I got from them when going from the bi-blade to the tri-blade. But we'll see. 661. YouTube did the thing. 661FPV says, boo, V3 Mobula 7 frames there, heavy AF. Yeah, I don't know why I bought that. RC Addict says, where do I get the STL file for that go-to whoop mount? It's coming. WOM-FPV is finishing up the 4th of the mounts, and then he's going to make a Thingiverse, and he's in the chat all the time, so he'll drop that link when it's ready. 661FPV says that's a 2S frame. Yeah, that's why I'm like confused. I guess maybe I got it because I can make a tiny lifter without the Cockroach 75 frame and see how it is. I guess maybe that's what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. Smooth and Groovin says, flew a few packs earlier, noticed the PID tune sounds like it was wobbly. Is it due to low voltage near the end of the pack? Could be. Was also flying in the wind. That's what it was. It was the wind. That was just the PID tune doing its job, basically. If it's making those noises, but you still have rock solid video, yeah, that's the PID loop doing its thing. It's ramping the motors up on either side to keep it nice and flat. If you did have some wobbliness, you can try upping. That's an example of not having enough PID gain for that flying situation. That's where it's really nice to be brave enough to tune. So you just go into your OSD and you kick like another 10 or 20 points of P gain and D gain, and usually that'll take care of it. Cody SA says the best whoop cam is the Ant. Is best. I think it's also heavy. I think the Ant camera is also heavy. Don't quote me on that though. Monitorton says you got the last ELRS tiny group in North America, so I had to start building one from parts. Sorry, Metal. Glenn Burnett says agree with Cody SA that the Caddx Ant is pretty awesome. I've seen some flight footage from it, and I was like, damn, okay. Caught up on chat. Here we go. 10:28. Good. We got some time before giveaways. Some stickers. An instruction manual. Mobula. Good on you for printing out an actual instruction manual on trees. Good stuff. Oh my god. All right. I can't believe that they give you this. I watched Nick Burns' review of this. They give you a 1S parallel charging board. Like, it's the weirdest little build. It's on like, you see it. This is crazy that they include this. Wild. It's great. It's great. I love that they put this in there. I have the fractal board at Maggie's at Studio 2, but that's cool. I can have that here. Sticker. A little piece of PCB in there. More stickers, Express LRS stickers. Bag of stuff, some extra bi-blade Gemfans, little screwdriver, a little prop puller that won't work well because these shitty prop pullers don't work well. And they give you an extra canopy. What? Look at that. Maybe they don't, but I got an extra canopy. That's really cool. That is very cool. So it's the same canopy and camera. I like that. I now have two of the cool little custom cut foam in there. Nothing super extravagant, which is good. You know, this is kind of perfect. Don't spend a ton of money on the packaging because we're just gonna throw it away. Nice tight little package. Weird person. Wow, they gave two canopies. That's really cool. Although I wonder if that means that the canopy is weak and it's going to explode. So, yeah, these bi-blades aren't going to last long on here. I'm going to take those off pretty much right away. But, how do you bind? Oh, hey, look, they put the AIO the right way around. That's pretty nice. The AIO still has that stupid video connector hanging off the side of it, which is probably what makes it not fit in other frames. And they ran the antenna through the canopy. Very cool. All the things that I was bitching about the Mobula 6, they have done, or fixed, or whatever you want to say, in the 7. So here are these motors. Yeah, happy model RS0802, 20,000 kV, 1.5 millimeter motor shaft motors. Very cool. How do you? I don't want to look that video up again. How do you bind Express ELRS? Isn't it a little bit of a different process? Somebody hook me up in chat, please. Don't make me look it up. I'll cry and pee my pants. Nobody wants that. Or do you? You sick freaks. What's up, Apache? 661 says it's a new, different canopy that uses 4 mount screws. Old one only used 3. Oh, look at that. You're right. You're right. Installed is the... I remember Nick Burns mentioned this too. Installed is the 4-post canopy. The canopy screws into all 4. This is the 3-post. So this is cool because this little 3-post canopy is now an extra for the Mobula 6. Hey! Everything's coming up Millhouse. Cool. Yeah. How do I FPV? How do I bind ELRS? Somebody. Schizophrenic FPV says connect to beta flight and then the receiver tab, press bind. Ah, that's right. Isn't there? Then Richard says unplug it and plug it in like 4 times. Really? Isn't there some weird sequence though? Doesn't like the transmitter have to be? There's something weird. Doesn't like the transmitter have to be in bind mode and then you do it in... I'm going to have to learn more about ELRS one of these days because... I don't know, I feel like I'm relying too much on you guys for knowledge with it, and it's just got all kinds of... There's all kinds of cool stuff going on with ELRS. I don't want to miss out. Bunch of extra screws in here. I'm going to leave these extra screws in the package here. In the Lewis script, go to bind. I'm not. The Lewis script things can go to hell. Dan Herbson says, look on that printout. Yeah, it's true. It's so much more fun to get you guys all fired up, though, and ask you guys questions. Spare canopy is 3 screws. CiottiFPV whack. Well, hopefully the 4-screw canopy is invincible. Look at the printout they sent. Plug it 4 times. Hit bind receiver tab. Click bind on the ELRS Lua. What's up? Just put bind. I'm gonna hit bind on the module itself. Also, see the page live stream live Discord channel. You guys putting it in live stream live? Yeah, I had that link up, but I'm just trying to do it as quick as possible because giveaways are coming up. We got 25 minutes before the giveaway, so I just want to blast through this. All right, so I'm just going to throw it into beta flight and hope for the best. Here we go. It doesn't sound like from the chat there's any super exciting order of operations that I need to do, so here we go. All right. Module is... Oh, okay, I remember now. Yeah, the quad has to be in bind mode, and then I hit bind on the thing in the place. All right. And here we go. So you guys said beta flight configurator and Frank says, as usual, ask for advice from chat, ignore chat advice, do it your own way and take longer than just following the advice. Well, that makes me feel horrible. Thanks a lot. Bind receiver. Oh, sorry guys. And let's see what happens. Good God, that binds quick. Are you kidding me? Okay, no. Jesus, I was gonna say, wow. Bind receiver. Let's try it one more time. It goes green, then blue. Oh, I gotta power cycle it, of course. All right, let's see here. And let's see what we got going on. We got movement? Nah, not yet. All right, so what's going on here? SPI built in, Express ELRS, we got that. This is on 4.3. Let's see here. All right, so we're on 500 hertz, TLM ratio 1:2, power 25 milliwatts, RGB auto, bind, update. Metal Resistance says all that UI stuff is in the 10.8 RC or nightly build configurator. I think I have the newer one here. What am I missing? Drone has to be first and bind mode first, then TX. Yeah, cool. Script code bind. What am I missing? It looked like it bound. It went green, then blue. It looked like it did a thing. Let's cycle power. And let me make sure it's actually going into bind mode. Alright. So, we're going to go to the receiver tab. And when I click bind receiver, I'm going to look at what the lights do. So we got green flashing slow, red flashing like medium. Click bind. Green's now flashing fast. So it's in bind mode. Alright. Green's flashing fast. Okay, now it's still in bind mode. But, yeah, so the quad's still in bind mode, but when I do bind on the module, it's not getting it. Frank says use the Lua scripts. All right, let's see. So doesn't look like I have a Lua script for this. Go fish, chat. Glenn Burnett says I think it's bound. If it were bound, I would have motion on the sticks. But I do not. And it's not, it continues to flash fast green as if it's still in bind mode. Fat Pastor says, how about hold the bind button for 3 seconds? That is not really how it works on this transmitter. If you hold the button down, it takes you out of the menu. Audi Duene says, or maybe you have bind phrase in your TX module. I don't. I haven't done the bind phrase thing yet. Special ELRS configurator has a button to download the Lua script. You refused to do that last stream with XLRS. Yeah, I'm an idiot. What can I say? I mean, I've said it a million times. Ali Duido says, do you have same version for ELRS TX and RX? I don't really know much about ELRS yet. So I don't know. Non-existent says you can also type bind RX into the CLI. I'm pretty sure that the rig is in bind mode because when I hit bind receiver, the green light started flashing it went from flashing medium slowly to fast. So I'm pretty sure that the rig is in bind mode. I feel like it's like a model, not model. I think it's like version 1 versus version 2 kind of thing. Schizophrenic says, do you know if you have ELRS 1.x or 2.x? 1 pairs with 1, 2 pairs with 2. I know for a fact that this module on here is 2 because there was only... that was the only option. The Mobula 6 just bound. So, how can I tell what version this is on? 661 says Mobula 7 is advertised to be shipped with V2, unlike the Mobula 6. Yeah, the Mobula 6 we had to put different firmware on. Remember? We had to update the firmware to get it. Let me make sure that low power until first arm is turned on in the VTX table. It is. Okay, good. All right, good. Where'd that little instruction manual go? Let's see if it's got any words of wisdom for me. I'm gonna unplug it because it does get hot when it's plugged in. Bind procedure. Need to update Express ELRS TX module firmware to 2.0 before binding. Binding procedure video with a bit.ly link. Okay, so I guess it doesn't ship with 2.0. That sucks. So... Oh wait, no. It's a TX module, transfer. Okay, no, so that's fine. Connect, bind receiver, green light will start blinking fast. This means onboard SPI ELRS receiver is in bind mode. Good. That's what I want. That's what I need. Turn on your radio transmitter. Hit bind. Green LED on the flight controller would get solid first, then start to blink slowly. Yeah, that ain't happening. Means bind successful, reconnect. Scholar Jace says paste into CLI your passphrase. I don't have the passphrase or any of that stuff set up yet. Might have to flash the flight controller. You really want to trust Happy Model to ship the right thing. 661 says V2 has model match. That may be the problem, and you need the Lua to set the receiver number. I think. I don't know. I'm still on V1 myself. Metalderson says if the button won't work reliably, the only other way to get the module into bind is the Lua script. No, the module goes into bind mode, but then it comes out of bind mode. So it's feeling like I need to update the update Betaflight on the rig. I'm pretty sure it said 4.3, right? Yeah, 4.3 Betaflight. Is there any chance it's a port tab issue? Am I still sharing the right screen? Yeah, I am. Oh, I didn't want to do that. It's SPI though, so it shouldn't be a serial RX problem, right? I mean, we're gonna try it just for the sake of experiment. All right, we've got slow flashing green. Click bind. It goes to fast flashing green. Module bind. Did something just change? No. Is it? Tell me it's not too close. Nah, it's not too close. Oh, let's just try it one more time. Let me turn off that port. That was definitely not the right thing to do. I knew it, but it's just throwing spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks. Wait, Anderson says, wait, what RC rate is your module set for? RC rate. AUX 12 is high, so it's got RxSI. Oh. Oh. Really? Let's see that. I didn't notice that. Hold on, let's see.
Welcome to OpenTX.
I hate Lua scripts, guys. Do I seriously have to use the Lua scripts? What's different about hitting bind in the Lua script? Is that Oh, they ship set for 2. Yeah, I am on 500. That's interesting. Let me move it to 250. And maybe that'll magically do something. Let me take it out of bind mode, put it back into bind mode, because it's been in there for a minute. Oopsie. Alright. Alright, slow flashing green, fast flashing green. Hold button, bind, binding. Aux 12 jumped up. This is interesting. Alright, so I'm going to take the packet rate back up to 500. That's wild that aux 12 is doing a thing. Isn't it? Power cycle after changing packet rate. Oh, good call, 661. Son of a bitch. How in the hell could anyone... The fact that anybody stays in this hobby is so shocking to me. Here's the other thing, right? Even on 250, it just keeps... Oh, shitters. Forgot to click bind receiver. It just keeps flashing fast green. It should, if it binds, it should go to solid green. And it's not doing that. It just keeps flashing fast green. Try switching your channel map tab. I can't because then the wrong channels will be on the wrong thing. Schizophrenic just checked. It ships with V1. You 100% need to update the board to RC3. Good call, my man. That's what I was kind of thinking, but my God, I was attempting everything I possibly could to not have to do that. All right, so well, it's 10:48. Yeah, you guys really want to see me fly this, though, don't you? We got to do it. I'm trying to think of what. Well, let's do this. I know I always tell you guys not to do dumps or diffs, but we're going to do a diff. We're going to do a diff from the Mobula 6 because I spent a bunch of time setting this thing up on Whoop Wednesday, and yeah, it should be in a really good place, to be completely honest. Low battery, really? No, you're at 7.5 volts, you jerk.
Receiver is still connected.
All right, so we're going to do a diff. And we're just going to grab everything here, starting with name, copy it into the clipboard, and we're going to disconnect, go back into update firmware, unplug the 6, plug in the 7, and here we go. So we're going to come up top here, auto detect. I don't trust the auto detect. Crazy B F4SX 1280. Crazy B F4SX 1280. Crazy B F4SX 1280. Great. And this is RC3. That's what we want. Oh, farts. I hope I'm flashing the right firmware. I didn't hit load firmware online. Well. Tyrannus did say receiver still connected. Interesting. 661 says pasting a diff will bind it for you. That's pretty cool. No shit. Mother Dirtson says it's pronounced Crazy Beef 4. JR says Danbury is still going like Christmas stream all over. Yeah, Joshua is... I'm super paranoid right now, so I'm going to click load firmware online, and I'm going to reflash this. It's just me being a lunatic. But, yeah, JR, Joshua is not streaming yesterday, today, this coming Sunday, this coming Monday, So I decided to do his time slot and mine as well because I have tons of work to do and you guys ask great questions. Ruby Tim says, you got to look at your email, bro. It's comedy genius, but actually don't get your hopes too high. All right, let me, while this is flashing. Daniel Maurer sent a $25 PayPal. He says, you can stop swearing, but I'll never forgive you if you ever stop threatening to come to my house and stab me for trivial reasons like subbing the tweet. Some things like that are just non-negotiable. Thank you so much, Daniel. Family Guyver became a $10 patron. Thank you so much, brother. He's going to get in on the second giveaway, which is for 3-inch micro brushless and Cinewhoop stuff. Giveaways are going to happen in about 10 minutes. So if you want to get in on the 3 Patreon giveaways, you got to go to CiottiFPV.com, hit the Patreon button, or just go to Patreon, search for CiottiFPV. $5, $10, and $20 a month tiers are for get you in on the giveaways. The 4th giveaway is going to be Super Chat and PayPal based that anybody can enter. Thanks again, Dan. Super, super, super cool of you. As always. Hey, there we go. Okay, great. And so let's connect. And we're going to close. And we're going to come into the CLI. We're going to paste that diff. Let's take a look at the red stuff. D-term filter. That's a little weird. OSD stuff is fine. Set gyro max hertz to 1,000. That's I gotta pay attention to that. Okay. Too many frequencies expected. That's fine. Okay, cool. Save. And let's see what's going on here. I'm gonna turn the transmitter back on. Hit connect. See what we got. Let me calibrate the accelerometer while I'm thinking about it. All right, there we go. And do we have stick movement? Nope. Let's try hitting bind receiver. We got fast flashing green. Oh, the module was not on. Well, screw it. I'll just hit bind again. It's fine. It did a quick little thing. Hey! I'm on the wrong scene. Hey! Look at us go! All right, it should fly. Unplugging.
Telemetry lost.
All right. Here we go, friends. Here we go. Fucking grooving tonight, man. Got lots to do. And I can do it all. I can do all the things. What did they do to my monitor today? Moving it all around, moving and grooving. Wow, that's too close. Okay. There we go. That's a little better. All right, here we go. 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 I just need to like watch Joshua Bardwell's Express LRS video, and that'll be good. I don't watch like whole videos anymore. I just like super fast forward through them and try to find only like exactly what I'm looking for. I'm just struggling, man. I'm struggling to find the time to do all these things that I want to do. PH 2.0 connector, plug it in. 1S450 Talon battery on board. Okay. Let's get you guys focused in on the screen. There we go. And let's see what channel it's on. When I arm it, it's not hitting the motors hard enough to spin them up. Kind of interesting. But it might be fine. What channel are we on? Is it on B5? Oh, the OSD just froze on the rapid fire. Come on. Here we go. Nope. What channel are you on, little friend? Forgot to look at it in the VTX menu. Oh, come on, little guy. You gotta be on one of these channels. Ah, I'll plug it in. Set it to race 8. Wait a second, it should be set to race 8. From the, from taking a dump. Stand by.
Low battery.
Alright. Motors, D-Shot 300. Oh, there might be a bidirectional D-Shot issue. What did I say I was going to do? Video transmitter here. Oh, okay. It wiped the VTX table. I think it uses the I think it uses this one. Save to file. Nope, no. Save. Oh, come on. Oh wait, it's not in here. Is it UART 1 or UART 2? I bet you it tells me in the instruction manual. Here we go. Where's the picture of the ports tab? Come on. Where you at? Gimme. Where's the ports tab? Tell me things. Come on. Really? Where's it at? Here we go. VTX table. Aux 1. Oh, wait, no, what? Why do they have a picture of the VTX table there? What? What's happening? UART 2. Hey, thank you. Oh, nope, not Tramp. Smart Audio. Save and reboot.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry.
I wonder why that didn't come over on the diff. That's weird. Ian Stamatic, thanks, brother. That's super cool of you. I really appreciate it. You're gonna love it, man. Patreon's a great spot. Video transfer. Hey, now we're talking. Oh, this is weird. It's the actual. What? Why is it not? Wait, what? Give me race 8, yo. Let me. What? Oh, enter frequency directly. There we go. Okay. All right. Race band 8. And on until first arm. I'm going to let it fire up to 25. That's fine for indoors. And save.
Telemetry lost.
That should be it. Let's see. I'm going to put on the 10-gram GNB 1S380. No. I'm going to do the 450 MAH 12.5-gram Talon battery first. Ooh, there it is. Time to bash. You guys ready? First impressions of the Mobula 7 ELRS on the bi-blades. What is happening with the video? Why did it get so cloudy just now? Power actually ain't too bad. Feels fat, feels big. Oh, farts. I love going backwards through that gate, but it is difficult. Yeah, so definitely a little bit underpowered. That's to be expected with these bi-blades. Still decent power though. I mean, like, look at that. Like, it's all right. It's all right. For most people. Oh, that was a little weird. That was basically a that might have been a desync. That was a little weird. Yeah, for most people, this is a perfect amount of power. Wow, I am not having luck backing through that gate. tune is actually like
30 seconds.
dialed. Oh well, this. Oh, oh. You know what? I think air mode might not be on. Oh god. Yeah, now it's fine. Hold on, let me see. Oh, what am I doing? I want to do blip. Well, that's weird.
20 seconds.
It's fine now. Oh, 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 oh. Before I fly the next battery, I think I'm going to move it over to tri-blades. Well, I might not have another set of tri-blades. This is really good for a stone stock tiny whoop. My god. It definitely feels heavier than the Mobula 6, because it is.
6,
The
4,
the extra size.
3,
There it is. See that? What's going on there? Happy model quality control
timer 1.
is failing. That sucks. Oh wow! And it just flashed RX.
Telemetry recovered.
Oh now.
Low battery.
Oh wow! Come on now. Well, that could be. You know what it could be. So it's doing it. Let me try this again. Hold on. Let me do that move again. Oh, farts. It's very telling that it's doing it when I do that move, because that's a backward. It's reversing. Man, I'm having a hard time. I think it's. I think I need a little bit more startup on the motors. I think the motors are being spun backwards because it's doing it in situations where there's an inflow of air, which tries to spin the motors backwards. So I bet you that's what it is. Man, this flies great right out of the box, though. Holy cow. This is something else. And this camera is definitely better than the newbie drone camera, for sure. It has less field of view. Oh, also look at that. The battery shifted. The battery shifted really far backwards, so the CG was jacked. So that was not helping matters any. Boy, oh boy, tiny whoops have come a long way. This is ridiculous. I am pretty staggered. Man, yeah. Definitely a little room for improvement, and I think for indoor flying, which is what tiny whoops are really kind of making sense for, I think the Mobula 6 is maybe still better, but I mean, we got to get this onto tri-blades, and
Reset.
got to put more than one battery through it. Let's. Oh yeah, and this is not their tune. Yeah, the diff had my tune in it. Good call. Good call. Good call. Good call. 661 says idle speed for the 26,000s won't be. Oh, it's not. I always run my idle speed at 5 or 5.5. It's not idle speed related. It's digital idle. It's the digital idle that came over in the thing in the place. That we can fix that. Let's fix that real quick, and then we'll put it on tri-blades. And then we'll do giveaways. All the good things, all happening all at once. Does this have Blue Jay? Hold on. Let me give it a listen. I didn't notice it the first time. Let's see. You got Blue Jay, bro? Nope. No Blue Jay on there. So that could have something to do with it too. It's not on 11 billion Blue Jays. So let me plug it in. First things first, I want to get the digital idle corrected real quick here. So we're gonna come here. We're gonna go PID tuning. Oh, dynamic idle is off because D-shot telemetry is off. Okay, all right. So that ain't it. 2-point averaging, that looks good. Oh yeah, this is this wacky tune, all hundreds. Come up to the motors tab real quick and just see. Motor idle 5.5, D-shot 300, motor stop ESC. Let's just... I'm gonna have to do this on the laptop because this computer is too old for the ESC glip glops. Why are you not Logitech? Come on, man. Have some decency, Logitech. All right, hold up. Let me. Oh no, I can do it on the Mac Mini. Here. Plug this in and wake it up, and we're just gonna plug this guy in. Hold on, please. Hold on. This will be quick. Battery. Where'd that other one go? I don't want to kill the battery. Here we go. Okay. Oh no. Come on. There we go. Okay. New tab. Ah! Things are falling. ESC. Configurator. Yep. Blue Jay. Great. Quad's plugged in. Give it some power. Power. Good to go. Just pretend like I'm... What? Oh, right. I gotta run it on Chrome. That's right. I had to download Chrome specifically for this. There we go. Okay. Paste. And ESC configurator. Clicking connect. Clicking read setup. It's reading the setup. I'm going to click flash all. Starter power is set to 1. Demag compensation is low. Motor timing is medium. Beep strength I'm going to turn up a little bit. And beacon strength I'm going to turn up as well, 220. Beacon delay I'm going to put it to 2 minutes. And we're going to write setup. I did this out of order. Flash all. We're going to go from BLHES to Blue Jay. We're going to select 0.16 for the version, PWM frequency 48, and flash. There it goes. ESC1. Glenn Burnett says it shipped with RC2 for Betaflight. I posted the diff in Discord livestream live. EEDoc says pause the stream a bit back, put it in livestream live on Discord, link to what everyone was using at Whooptopia that was willing to share. Nice, EEDoc. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Super helpful. Ian Kraus joined the Patreon. Welcome to the collective, my man. Livestream live. Copy of questionnaire. Nice, dude. Hell yeah. That is awesome. That is awesome. Okay. All right, good. We're on Blue Jay. And brake on stop, turn that. Oh, I got to redo everything. Yeah. Beacon delay 2 minutes. Beacon strength, moving that up to 120 and 120. All right. And we're going to write setup. Hopefully all the motors are still going to spin in the correct direction. And disconnect. What a happy little song that is. Yo, this thing smells like burning when you leave it plugged in. My goodness. Oh, dude, these 10 gram 380 mAh batteries fit in here perfectly. Ooh. That is satisfying as hell. Let's see if the motors spin the right direction. Helps when you turn the power on your transmitter. Come on, little bastard. Spin the right direction. Please. Please spin the right direction. Please. Come on, you little devils. Oh, man. Something weird's going on here. Now they won't spin at all. There was something weird that got copied over, I think, that is causing some issues.
Telemetry lost.
Interesting. Well, now that Blue Jay's on it, we're good to go. We can figure this problem out. It was one of those things that came up in red. I think somebody said that they put a diff in a place. Maybe in Livestream Live.
Low battery.
There it is. John Schizophrenic put it. Okay, awesome. Thank you. Crazy BF3, Happy Model, Mobula 7, 1 ELRS stiff. Great. Although this is gonna wipe out a bunch of stuff. That's okay. We can at least get it, hopefully, running. Let's see if this gets it back where it needs to be. Connect. Oops, nope. CLI.
Telemetry
And this is just gonna be one big blop because it's got save in there.
Telemetry recovered. Low battery.
There was only one red line. Okay. Modes. Arm, angle, fine. Fine, whatever. I'm gonna come back here and fix these. Alright, this should run. Oh, I don't have my bind anymore though. Well, let's try it the old-fashioned way. Bind receiver. Hold the button. Binding. Just like that. Alright, cycle the power. Come on, baby, be bound. Be bound, you little devil. Farts. Yeah! There we go. Yeah!
Telemetry
Yeah!
recovered.
Yeah! Okay,
Low battery.
here we go. Should fly. This is going to be on a stock tune. This will kind of be interesting. Although, wait, hold on. Let's just go ahead and take care of that. We don't want no
Telemetry recovered.
we don't want no stock tunes in this place.
Low battery.
That's whoa! Look at that stock tune. The stock tune is more aggressive than mine. Jesus wept. Okay. Wow. Okay. Oh, I do need to put my rates in. 20, 20, 20, 700, 700, 700, 0.7, 0.7, 0.7. Throttle Expo, 0.4. Throttle midpoint, oh, I forget. I'm gonna take a guess at 0.40.
Telemetry lost.
Rate profile 2, what? No, why? Why would you do that?
Low battery.
Well, that's weird.
Telemetry lost.
Oh, that's awkward. What? Wait, what? Stop switching to rate profile 2. What are you doing?
Low battery.
Oh, this is... What is it? What? Why? Why is it... Why? What?
Recovered.
Stop it.
Low battery.
Whatever. Rate profile 2 is set the same as 1. Maybe it'll fly. I need to get air flowing over it. It's going to catch on fire. Okay. One more battery on this, and then we're going to do the giveaways. Friends, thank you for being patient. Although, I bet you guys want to see this just as much as...
Telemetry recovered.
Oh, Christ. Now it's on a... God knows what channel it's on. It's on race 6. Let me see if the VTX table is going to work. Yes! 7.8. Oh, God, turn that power down. No, we don't need 400 million watts. Yes!
Telemetry lost. Telemetry.
You guys should have gotten video. Hey! There we go.
Telemetry lost. Telemetry recovered.
Nah, it won't spin the motors. It's what? It's only spinning the left front motor. It is spinning it from idle, though. Oh, the other ones are trying. What is happening here? Let me put it into turtle mode. Oh, there's something bad going on. This is weird. This is very weird. Let me take a look at the Mobula 6. See if there's anything weird that I have set up. I mean, there's not, but... why am I looking in there? Motors, 5.5, D-Shot 300, motors are reversed. Yeah, I mean... And, like, Blue Jay defaults are kind of good. Huh. This is weird.
Telemetry lost.
Could it be like overheated? Because it did get really hot.
Telemetry recovered. Low battery.
Nah, it's only spinning the left front motor. That's really weird.
Telemetry lost.
Huh. What is that about? I don't think it's... Oh, this is weird. Let's reflash it. Let's reflash it over on the
Telemetry lost.
Mac Mini. Maybe it just got upset, or maybe it only flashed one ESC, I guess. But I did hit flash all, and I think that it did. And the motor that's the only motor that's working is motor 4, which is a little odd.
Telemetry recovered.
Because if anything, it would have flashed motor
Low
1.
battery.
All right, hold on. Read setup.
Telemetry lost.
Flash all. Version 0.16. Select PWM frequency 548 rather. Flash. No, it says that they're all flashed. Blue Jay 0.16, 48K. Minimum startup power 1025. Maximum startup power 1100. I haven't had to change any of these Blue Jay settings. They've been like beautiful. Motor timing medium high 22.5 degrees. Demag low. RPM power protection ramp up 9x. Yeah, I mean everything is set. Interesting. Oh yeah, good idea. Spin them up in Betaflight in the motors tab. All right, so all 4 of them definitely flashed this time. All right, we've got motor direction is normal on all of them. This is all good to go. Okay. All right, so it should be totally fine in Blue Jay. We've eliminated that, sort of.
Recovered. Telemetry lost.
Now, plug into Betaflight, and let's go to the motors tab and see what's what. Oh, wait, no, it's not an RPM filtering issue. All right. Motors. Let's see what's up here. Nothing.
Battery.
Nothing. Oh, the battery is down at like no voltage. So that wasn't helping the situation. All right, let's get a proper battery on here. It's got some charge in it. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Try this again. And motors. I hate trying to do this so fast, but I just want to get this going. Nah, man, just motor 1 spins. The rest of the motors just sit there and shake. Oh, but the motors are in the wrong spot. Let's do the giveaways. We're gonna give this some time to cool down. Hopefully it didn't blow up.
Telemetry lost.
But it is Happy Model. And they do have... They are kind of notorious. Damn it. I really just wanted to blast through this second battery and then put it away, and then we could really pound on it on Whoop Wednesday. After the stream, I'll take a minute to actually like go through this and not be trying to go 10,000 miles an hour to get it all going. Nothing good ever comes from trying to rush through anything FPV related. Know what I mean? All right, let's get some giveaways going, friends. Here we go. We got to see one battery. It was good to go. I'll also get the I'll also figure that diff situation out. You know, I'll probably do is just reload Betaflight onto it, and then yeah, just be selective with the diff like I usually do when I'm not being a maniac. Okay. I have to do the thing in the place here, and I'm just gonna do it as fast as I can while I'm reading chat, because I don't have 2 monitors at the moment. So let me everybody that's joined Patreon, like, that's it. If you join Patreon right this minute, you probably won't be on this set of giveaways. I gave you as much warning as I could throughout the stream. All right, cool. 661, the VTX is good to go. It worked in the goggles, and it allowed me to change the power, and I saw it. When I changed the power, I saw it change. So VTX table is all set. I can't show you guys my screen because it has all of your personal info on it. But here we go. First wheel coming up, and we're gonna kick out the CSV for the $5 a month tier. Here we go. And there it is. All right, perfect. So let's get this, select all 66 wonderful, wonderful people going on the first wheel. There we go. All right. $10 a month tier, micro brushless and Cinewhoop. CSV coming up. And there we go. Copy and paste. There we go. Okay, extra space there. $20 a month tier. CSV coming up. But Anderson says the devs say that 400 milliwatt is the YOLO setting for that VTX. Just runs at maximum output. Yeah, Nick Burns was talking about that, how he felt like it was more than 400 milliwatts. I saw somebody else that was flying it from his bedroom and flew it like way down the street. I was really impressed by that. Wild. All right, and then we've got the $30 a month Ultra Superstar tier of people that are gonna get put on all of the wheels. So we've got first wheel and second wheel and third wheel. We are good to go. All right, friends. It's time. First up is the $5 a month tier. We've got a Happy Model Larva X bottom plate. This is going to allow you to build a tiny, with AIO Tiny Whoop stuff, into a 2.5 inch rig here on a really cool little carbon fiber frame. I like the little extra stays on this frame. This is like staggeringly strong for what it is. And then 2 sets of these awesome 75mm bi-blade Gemfan propellers, which are 1mm motor shaft. This could be a really, really cool. I'm gonna put a goober canopy in here as well. This will be a really cool little ultra small toothpick build. Like these 0803s would be really good in here. This is gonna be slick. Somebody's gonna dig this, and yeah, I'm gonna throw a goober frame or something or other in here as well. Where's my pen? Sharpie at the ready. Sharing my screen. Here are the lovely people. I'm gonna go oh no, that's not the right wheel. This is the right wheel. I'm gonna zoom in real quick and go really fast through here. You guys can rewind, but if you're active on Patreon, you'll be on here. I don't have any control if you're not on here. You got to get in touch with Patreon and be like, yo, WTF, mate. Don't tell them I'm doing giveaways, though, if you don't mind. Let's see who wins. Somebody is going to get a wee little toothpick build, and that person's name is Matthew Vega. Congratulations, Mr. V. I'm going to write your name down. Ship you some stuff. Matthew Vega. Very cool. Very deserving win. Alright, next up we've got a sponsored giveaway. This is huge thanks to D-Quad for sending this over specifically for the giveaways. This is their micro obsession. This is going to make an excellent little racing rig. This is like the perfect little 3-inch racing rig. This frame is super strong. It's got these, I don't know what kind of a shape that is. It's like an arch. It's like an oblong arch kind of shape to the top of it, which is really strong. And then you're going to have the battery on the bottom. And they even sent you an extra, 2 extra arms and a couple of little, what's it say here? Offset? Whoop kit 1mm offset. I have no idea what that is, but some really cool stuff in here. D-Quad is great, man. You guys should check out D-Quad. They have some really interesting frames. dquad.net. The D is for Dutch. They're a Dutch company, and their frames are really slick. I'm pretty impressed by them. So yeah, a bunch of extra arms so you can bang the shit out of this thing. And then since it's a racing build, a set of these 4-blade. It's in a Gemfan bag, but they're HQ 4-blade 3-inch props for all the grip in the world. Thank you, D-Quad. Very cool of you guys to send me the 3-inch school bus style frame and to send this for the giveaways. Support the companies that support the people that make the content that you like. Here comes the wheel. And hopefully you're on it. If you're not, yell at Patreon. There you go, here 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 you go. And shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Somebody's gonna win. And that person's name is coming up. I think it's gonna be John Godwin. God, I'm getting good at predicting those. John Godwin, congratulations, brother. You're getting a D-Quad micro obsession. Hopefully you don't get obsessed with it. I'm so sorry. Why would those words come out of my mouth? Godwin. Every once in a while, dad jokes are acceptable, but man, most of the time, it just makes me want to gouge my eyes out with hot pokers. John Godwin, congratulations, brother. Send us some, put some pictures on the Discord channel when it's all built up and ready to go. I want to see it. Apparently, a lot of guys like this this little D-quad frame. What am I doing? Next up, we've got the 5-inch tier, which is going to be a full set of 4 Lumineer Chief Racing 2207 2050 kV motors. 2050 kV is actually 5S or 6S. If you run these motors on 6S, do yourself a favor and motor limit them down a little bit. Start it at like 80% motor limiting, and if it's not enough power for you, you can creep it up. These are apparently really decent motors. The Chief is a racing frame that Ryan Harrell actually helped design. It's a good frame. And speaking of racing, these are, I don't know if you'd really use these for racing, but these are Gemfan Flash 5149 by 3s. These are one of my 2 favorite high-pitch propellers. These will take you deep into triple digits, and they're not super heavy. So like if you wanted to build a high-speed freestyle rig, these are the props, yo. I must have like 80 sets of these. I don't know what I'm ever going to do with them, but these are just a really good high-pitch prop. Jackalope motor limiting is a feature in the newer Betaflights 4.2, 4.3. It's in the PID tab. You can run a higher kV motor with a higher voltage battery, and then you could just motor limit it down. So like, for example, you can run like a 2400 kV motor, which is meant for 4S, but you can run it on 6S, and then just bring the motor limiting down to like 70%, and it'll pull down the PIDs as well as the throttle. It's really, really, really nice. It's a really cool feature. There's a couple of YouTube videos on it. If you just type in like Betaflight motor limiting, I'm sure you'll get some action. This is like 3 or 4 sets of these. I jam a ton of propellers into one bag. So let's see who's gonna win the little racing pack. I mean, you don't have to do racing with these. 2207s though are more of a racing motor than 2306. What am I doing? I'm looking down on the floor for some reason. Here is the list of beautiful people that is on this wheel. Let's see who's going to win a full set of motors and a bunch of props. Shuffle it up a little bit here. Spin it! Ooh, the goat is singing tonight. And he wants Blandon Ray, Metal Dirt's... Nope, I got it wrong. Patrick Scott, I don't even have to spend any money on shipping. Congratulations, P. Richard Scott. I don't think you're in the chat, but you live 10 minutes away from me, and we might be hanging out tomorrow. So you've got some motors coming to you, brother. There's a chance that... no, he's going to want these. He's going to want these. He's probably going to put these on a racing rig. Oh, that would be... there's a build of his that I want him to do with this. I wonder if he'll actually do it. Congratulations, dude. Congratulations to everybody. Now we're going to do the... now we're going to do the Super Chat giveaway. Super Chat and PayPal giveaway. That anybody can enter. $5 to get on the wheel once, $10 to get on the wheel twice. Here are the prizes. CiottiFPV sponsors this week after week because he is amazing. So the first thing that you're going to get is a set of transmitter grips in whatever color you'd like, but if you don't get CiottiFPV purple, you're dead to me. This is what the CiottiFPV purple looks like. And Tweet does an amazing job cutting these. I really, really, really dig these skateboard grip tape transmitter jib jabs. It's 2 sets of my other favorite crazy high pitch 5-inch prop. These are like absolutely off the rails pitchy. These are 5152 pitch. You're gonna need a big motor to crank these. Think like 2507 is gonna turn these really nice. And you don't need a ton of kV. These are beastly props. You're gonna love these props. We've got a Xylo 30x30 flight controller that I'm struggling to get opened here. I believe this has an MPU 6000 on it, so immediately it's awesome. And yeah, 30x30. Well, that's pretty slick. It's got... Oh. Well, that's cool. It's got a spot for a... I'm assuming... and through holes for a... Crossfire Nano. Oh, that's slick. I didn't see that. It's got 4... Oh, these holes are for little zip ties. You can run... Oh, that's slick. Okay, okay. I'm down with that. That's pretty cool. I've never seen that before. I like that. Okay. And then there is a little spool of solder. And it's the good stuff. It's 6337, which is going to give you a little bit more time as the solder cools down. 1,000,000 feet. It'll take you 100 years and nights to get through it. 5-inch battery strap, micro battery strap, and then a set of these ZK-FPV motor base LEDs. It took all of my willpower to not put these on the crazy LED rig. But it's going to get the Luma skids. So yeah. Whoever wins this, so help me God, if you don't send me a picture of these, I'm going to be very disappointed because you guys know I love LEDs. I'm a total LED nerd. So yeah, $5 to get on the wheel once for all this stuff and the transmitter grip tape grips. $10 to get on the wheel twice. If you don't want YouTube and Google to take 30% of your super chat, you can go to CiottiFPV.com, scroll down, there's a PayPal button, and you can PayPal it directly to me. And then the government will take 30%. But, you know, with YouTube stuff, I guess YouTube's going to take 30%, and then the government's going to take another 30%. Athix says, yeah, you can pin a Crossfire RX. That's really cool. I really dig that. Athix has TweetFPV Blue. Slick. Grizz FPV says, I run those motors on my 5-inch freestyle quad on 4S. Very cool. Athix FPV says, Vanover runs 2050 kV on 6S for racing. Good God, that's a lot of RPM. All right, let's get the email open here. We're going to fill this last wheel up. We're going to spin it. And then one person is going to be happy and everybody else is going to be upset. But that's okay. That's how gambling works. All right, Aaron Holocker sent $10. He says, what's up, Ciotti? Let me get 2 entries. Coil Locker FPV. You got it, my man. I'm just going to make you guys look at my big dumb face because... and this is going to be a quick one. I'm going to... there's like a 2-minute time limit on this one because it's getting late. So there's a chance that somebody's going to get left off. That's gonna suck to be you. Kevin Sumner with a $50 PayPal. Holy hell, dude. Thank you so much, Kevin. Super, super, super generous. The comment is, wheelies! Thanks so much, Kevin. Damn, dude. Kevin's not gonna go on the wheel 10 times. He's gonna, he's gonna go on the wheel twice. I'm assuming, Kevin, that you didn't think you could go on the wheel 10 times. I think that you know that. Kyle Jarecki, Jackalope FPV sent a $5 PayPal. He's going on the wheel once. Thank you very much, Kyle. There you are. And I'm making you guys look at my big dumb face because I don't want to show you all these people's email addresses. Metal Dirtskin with a $13 super chat. He says, here's the government's damn 30%. LOL. Metal Dirtskin goes on the wheel twice. Thanks, dude. All right, we got it, and we got a little bit of Julian Helt with a $10 super chat. He says, for the win. Julian, I don't know what's your YouTube name. Sound off in the chat. Some of you guys I somehow managed to remember and connect in my brain your human names and your YouTube names, but typically I don't. Frank Nicholas with a $10 PayPal. He says, reroll for grip tape and skid LEDs. Sounds good, my man. Thank you very much, Frank. And Tyler Sherrard with a $25 PayPal. Thank you, brother. He goes 2 rerolls and $15 for the good stuff and 1 dad joke. Toot toot. LOL. So Tyler wants reroll to get put on the wheel twice because that's just the kind of guy that he is. I got reroll on there once. Now I got it on there twice. Thank you very much, Tyler. You are always the man. David Peril sent $10 over on PayPal. He's going on the wheel 2 times. Thank you very much, David. Don't know what your YouTube name is, but drop it in the chat so everybody knows your beautiful made-up internet name. All right, 30 more seconds, and this wheel is getting spun. We're not effing around waiting tonight. If you're not on the wheel already, those are all the emails that I've gotten so far. I'm going to hit Goony Goo Goo. And come on. Here we go. All right. Sound off in chat if you're not on the wheel, and you should be. Here is the wheel. So we got Coil Locker, Kevin Sumner, Jackalope FPV, Metal Dirt Skin, Julian Help, Frank Nicholas, Reroll, and David Peril. You got about another 15 seconds before. Damn it, I specifically didn't want to show my email on stream, but whatever. There's nothing scandalous in there. Hypnos FPV is David, very cool. And then Julian is JVFPV. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Kevin Sumner says, no, wheel just twice and then a good dose of fuel for the madness. Thank you, Kevin. I had a feeling you know it. JVFPV says 2 entries. All right, got you on there. All right. And cool, we're going to spin this wheel. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Wait. No. Let me check my email one more time, just to be sure. Get mail. Okay, we're good. If you just sent it, I apologize, but we are just boogieing through stuff here tonight. Shuffle a bunch, goat at the ready. Let's see who wins. It's going to be reroll. I can feel it. Nope, not going to be reroll. Julian or Kevin? It's Kevin Sumner. Congratulations, brother. Where'd my little pen go? Kevin Sumner, I think I can just type Kevin Sumner into Patreon to get your address. But if I can't do that, do me a favor and shoot me a message with your info, and I will send you your stuff, man. Congratulations. F-U-S-U-M, no, N-E-R, right? S-U-M-N-E-R. Got it. Congrats, brother. Thanks to everybody for getting in and supporting the absolute mayhem. You know? You guys are the best. All right, I'm going to throw this back here, and what time is it? 11:45. I would love to dive back into this Mobula 7, but in all honesty, I'm pretty shot. I can see it in my eyes actually on the OBS viewfinder. I'm exhausted. Today was a really long day, and I think our best bet is for me to hit the Mobula 7 tomorrow morning with a fresh set of eyes, and by tomorrow morning I mean tomorrow at noon. And I'll also so I already talked about what happened with this rig earlier on in the stream, so it's whatever. It's not going to benefit for you guys watching me take the top plate off and touch multimeter to the 5-volt pads that the camera is on. But yeah, my guess is that because this has a Talon F7 flight controller that I just put into it, and there are two 5-volt Becks on this flight controller, and I think I blew one of them up, which is why I think the camera's not getting power. Or maybe the camera blew up. It's Foxier camera. Maybe it blew up. I don't know. But I'm going to handle that on my own. Like I said, tomorrow night I'm going to try my best to do a stream in whatever the time slot is of Joshua and It's Blunty's news, but no promises, because Tuesday is my off day, and yeah, if I'm not feeling it tomorrow, Whoop Wednesday will be a lot better if I take the day off. So we'll see. I'll try to do a stream. Maybe I do like a Patreon only stream. Probably not. I'll probably do a public stream. But yeah, thanks guys for hanging, for participating, for supporting me, for helping me out with ELRS. Yeah, you guys are the best. I wake up at the crack of noon for sure, Fat Pastor. Yeah, I have a really hard, I always have had a really hard time sleeping. And so, like, yeah, most nights I'm up until 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m. struggling to fall asleep. Most nights I don't even bother. Like, if I'm not absolutely demolished tired, I'll just stay up and just get work done. Family Guyver says a news stream would be cool. Me doing a news stream would be brutal though, because I'm not like really, I don't spend any time, as you can see by me not knowing anything about ELRS, I just don't spend much time paying attention to the news. I spend most of my time kind of focused on like all the things that I do. But yeah, I'm just not, I got away from all the technical stuff as early as I could because I don't really like it. I don't like the technical side of this hobby. I like the artistic side of it, which is flying, tuning, editing. So yeah, I really focus on that kind of stuff, for better or worse. Luckily, we've got people like Joshua and It's Blunty that do focus on news, and they do such a good job at it that it's kind of like, you know, why would I spend any time on that sort of thing? But, yeah. I don't know. Love you guys. Be good. Here comes some flying. Let me get this screen cleaned up a little bit. Mobula 7 ELRS. It flew good, man. Other than that one little weird thing that I'm pretty sure had to do with that weird issue with, I don't know. Wednesday will, it'll be either figured out by Wednesday or we'll dig into it on Wednesday. We'll see. Let me get Epidemic Sound up here. And let's see if audio is going to work. Probably not. Yeah, balls. Hold on. I got to restart OBS. Be right back. It'll just pinwheel for a second. Ooh. Dirty. All right, be good, guys. Here's some flying. I'll see you guys Wednesday at 8 or tomorrow night at, I don't know when. I don't know when the news usually goes on. 6 o'clock maybe? 7 o'clock? I'm not sure. Here comes some flying at the stadium. Oh, I just crash immediately in this one. It's not gonna be a lot of flying, but there's a little bit here. Love you guys, be good. I'm tired. Good night.